how's this? Can you hear me now? I always do that. At least it's just muting and not like my entire microphone not working, because that's what it was before. My computer stopped being a jerk. Hello. Okay, so what I was saying is, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I have been thinking about this game since I finished streaming on Tuesday. Like, straight up, it's been like one of the only things on my mind. I'm like, oh man, is it Thursday yet? I want to play more of this game. I guess I do. This is like, I love this dress. I have an identical one in black, but I felt like I would be a little bit more green today. Thank you, Ez. But like, legit, I'm so fucking stoked to take on chapter 2. Oh my god, like, very excited. Also, does anybody know who managed to pick up the Steam key the other day? Because I'm curious, because nobody said that they claimed it, but I did have a bunch of lurkers that day. Oh, you guys. Well, oh, I can't show you that because that's for tomorrow's video. It's a secret. So, now that I say that I've been thinking about Ghosts of Miami for the past, like, 3 days, yeah, so apparently what happened, fine, fine. Want me to make my bed? I'll go make my bed. I'll make my bed right now. This is for you. Look, I'll even get the nice pillow. Oh, my cheese balls? At least I only have one container now. Yeah, I mean, So I've been talking about it a little bit on the Discord, and I've been thinking about it. So I think what I'm gonna do is, once I'm done with this game, I'm gonna do a giveaway. I'm gonna give away a copy of Valhalla. I'm gonna give away a copy of Ghosts of Miami, and I'm going to give away 2 $5 gift codes for ThinkGeek. I feel like that might be like there'll be 2 first prize winners. One will get one game and one of the gift codes, and the other will get the other game and one of the gift codes. Does that sound like a decent giveaway? Like, because I love these games so much. I am so, like, I really like them, and I want to share them with everybody. Okay. Cool. Then I will definitely set that up. Because, like, golly gee, this is, like, one of the best games I've played in freaking God. Oh, yeah, this is, like, the perfect game for the Youngtown emotes. Speaking of this game, I actually got Chloe to start playing it, but, updating Steam! Stop updating! I want to play the game! Can you play my game now? Oh, I'm sorry guys, I didn't know that Steam was updating. Now you can see my desktop. There we go. I'm sorry. But here we go, back in action. I'm gonna run through the intro again because I just love it so much. There you go, Karen. There's Ethan. Look, the explosion is still great, Karen. Where's my slime ball husband? Where's my slime ball husband? Oh yeah, Karen, you didn't see the intro. Where's my slime ball husband? There's my slime ball husband. Richard! My fucking slime ball. He's definitely my slime ball husband. I do love Tala, though. Like, okay, real talk, I don't think there's a single character we've met that I don't like. We haven't met Janet yet, so... So apparently, when the devs were in the other night, they said that this animation was done by the people that do Batman Spider-Man. Alright, here we go. Continue? Options. Thank you, Michelle. Michelle gets it. Michelle knows why I love, like, the old slime balls. Okay. Yeah, oh, also, this game is incredibly accessible. Like, they have a text-to-speech option going on. You can switch languages into both, I believe it's, I can't read that, I think it's Chinese and Spanish. Text contrast, I kind of want to put that on. No. Like, they really worked hard to make this game as awesome as it is. Okay. So we solved case 1 on Monday. Now, we have our second missing persons case. Melanie Schrader. And I'm going into this one completely blind. I know nothing about this case. Like, at least the last one, no, even then. Oh no, as I will post, it's on YouTube, I'll post the link in the Discord after the stream. So everybody, or we can see it next time too. But let's go. Round 2. I have my water. Not many people wake up early for paperwork, but it's important to document everything I've done, successful or not. When I was little, Detective Harris would visit for dinner and let me help him with his case files. Always be detailed, Taylor, in case some lawyer decides to come after you. Good notes help everyone. Paperwork makes justice work. I guess that's a pretty dumb line, but he's right. I have to focus on the people I'm trying to help. It's important, and it helps make the boredom tolerable. Thanks for the auto host, Luke. Hey, maybe it's a new client. Or maybe it's an attractive stranger telling me they're in love with me and will hand-deliver breakfast to my office every morning. I'm so hungry. I would destroy a short sack in about 30 seconds if only... Hola, Consuelo Martinez, missing persons consultant. How can I help you? It's me, Chica. Oh, Lucy, are you okay? You're never up this early and you sound, different. Not your usual vibrant self. Do I? I am sorry, I guess. It's just so awful that I do not know who to turn to. Hey, what's the matter? I received an unexpected message this morning. It seems Melanie is missing. Who, our Melanie? Since when? Is there any way I can help? For 3 days, she has not shown up for work. Her mother even called me, and you know how much Barbara hates us. Yeah, she once told me she'd have me deported if Melanie and I tied up her phone line again. What did she say? It sounded as if Melanie calls once a month and often asks for money. They don't talk beyond that, much less catch up, so Barbara was light on the details. A few weeks ago, Melanie called and asked for help with rent and groceries. Barbara demanded that she come home to visit. Melanie said no, but her mom kept trying. Not too surprising, you know how Mel felt about her mom. But then the end of the month came and went. Either Mel had a great payday, which does not appear to be true, or else she has not paid rent because... No need to speculate. All we know right now is that Melanie didn't need rent money from her mother. Will you look into it? I will pay you. Well, Papa will pay you. I will speak with him. Hey, don't worry about that for now. I don't even know where to start looking for Mel. It's been a long time. I feel the same. Melanie's mother gave me her address. Here. Northwest 15th Ave and 65th. Isn't that in Liberty City? Is it? I believe you. I do not go to the mainland if I can help it. I'm glad you were willing to help. I wish there was something I could do. Oh, I'm sure she's okay. Keep a smile on your pretty face. We all could have tried harder. I think I'm gonna go with I'm sure she's okay. Because I feel like we all could have tried harder is just going to be like, it's not going to make anybody do any better. Keep a smile on your pretty face is definitely the flirty option, and I'm not going to do that route just yet. Though apparently you can date Lucy. I don't want to right now. I've got my heart set on one grade A slime ball. So I'm going to go with I'm sure she's okay. How could you be okay, Taylor? After high school, I had Papa, you had your ambitions, and Melanie was gone. At least Georgia got to follow her dreams, but they lead her out of Miami. Not gone completely. She dropped out, and, well, you two had stopped talking by then. But Mel told me that Mrs. Schrader gave her an ultimatum, get a job or leave. She left. Mama let her stay with us for 2 weeks, but that was her limit. I'm not sure if Mel forgave any of us. We should have done more to help her. We were just too absorbed with our own lives. How could we have known what was happening to Mel? I know how you feel, but I wanted... What you want is not comforting, Chilito. All the time, I see girls doing yellow at the bankside with rich men in Italian suits. The bartenders and bouncers recognize the VIPs, but the girls, by the next week, they're gone. Oh, Richard. Richard is my slime ball husband. How do they say it? Arm candy. And the women are too coked up to notice they are more disposable than the fancy cufflinks or luxury cars. Do you think that is what happened to Melanie? Vanished like one of those girls? Lucy, you're right. I'll find Melanie, I promise. Can I swing by the bankside later tonight to let you know what I found? I would like that very much, please. In the meantime, call if there is any way I can support you. Papa will pull some cash together, too. Thanks. Where's Melanie working nowadays? I'll start there. Her mother said she was working a drag club somewhere along the mainland. That's all I know. I'll be honest. I'm surprised Barbara asked you for help. Her mom was such a horrible lady. Did you know she's running one of those English-only campaigns now? She told me when she called me about Melanie like she was proud of it. Mrs. Schrader and I have been fighting this war for 10 years now. Remember when we permed Melanie's hair and she threatened to cut it all off? And then we snuck her into La Mariposa. Mel didn't speak a word of Spanish, but she looked so happy. I was so intimidated by you all back then, me with my old jeans and messy eyebrows. Delito, when you find Melanie, we will do your eyebrows together. Makeup, too, and hair. So go and find her. I can't believe it. Melanie, Lucy, and I were so close in high school, but that's how it is with high school friends. Very true! We started doing our own things, having our own lives. We drifted further and further apart before we even knew it. Part of me says we should have kept in better touch, but there were little fights and big fights, and then Melanie was gone. I had such a hard time starting my own grown-up life. I couldn't keep track of anyone else's. But now my old friends need my help. Glad I woke up early. Paperwork can wait. I better start looking for Melanie. Okay, so we have 3 options here. We can either go to the hospital, go to the police station, or go to Liberty City. Now, we know, based on the last one, that the cops are, like, so swamped right now that they can't really do much with missing persons cases. But it would probably be good to report it to her uncle. Liberty City is Melanie's last known address. Based on the look of that apartment building, it doesn't look like the greatest place in the world. So if we go there, we should probably be on our guard. And obviously the hospitals are going to run into Ethan. So... Oh, you think, Kyle? I never really thought that. I thought that my voices always sound the damn same. Yeah, the cops are also arresting girls that they bring in. So maybe the police station is not the best idea? Oh wait, no, that would be the cops are arresting them at the hospital. Okay, if you're gonna go, if Kyle says go to her apartment, let's head there. I'm trusting you, Kyle. Oh. Liberty City, you can still see the scars from the 1980s riots. Here's a glass window pane that got boarded up and never replaced. Let me just check something real quick, you guys. Neat. Here's some plastic that melted into the sidewalk. Miami loves building new stuff, but repairs to this neighborhood have been so slow. 15th Avenue got some of the worst of it. Detective Harris is gonna kill me when he finds out I came here alone. It's okay, JLo. Just be very careful and alert. I'll duck in, ask about Melanie, and leave before I draw any attention. Here's the building. A menacing woman with leathery skin is sitting in a plastic lawn chair, partially blocking the door. Excuse me, I'm looking for someone who used to live here. Are you the super? The landlady. Who's asking? A friend told me I could find Melanie Schrader here. A friend's wrong. Ain't no Melanie, ain't no Schrader. Please, here's a photo. Are you sure she doesn't look familiar? Just look. Wait, yeah, I seen her maybe a year ago. That girl took off, sold most of her stuff before then, said she couldn't afford it. Imagine anyone not being able to afford a closet in this hole, huh? Do you know where she was working? A dingy little dance club and basement in Overtown, owned by a sweet fat queen named Big Vanessa. The Cannery. Alright. Mel was working at a drag club in Overtown called The Cannery. There might be more information there. Sorry. I wouldn't go there by myself if I were a little twig like you, though. You look fragile. I can take care of myself. She laughs long and hard with a smoker's raspiness. Yeah, it stings a little. I'm serious. I'm helping the police with an investigation right now. It's bigger than Melanie. Gotta have some idea of where she went after this. There's no reason for me to talk to you, you little shit. Wait, you said you're a cop? I said I'm helping with an investigation, and that's all you need to know. Cops ain't welcome here, and if you're with them, neither are you. People leave, they're just gone. Who cares if your girl got shot or hustled? She's gone, end of story. Now do yourself a favor and get your ass away from my building. Well, that didn't work. Oh, who could that be? Tala! I wonder what she wants. Okay, so now we can either get back in touch with Tala, report to the cops, or check the hospitals. I think I'm going to go to the cop, or... I never want to go to the cops, so let's go check Tala's page. Hello, this is Chayla Martinez. You paged me? Hey, I'm so glad you called back. What do you need? I was bored and felt like calling? Really? I mean, that's nice of you. But don't you have school or something? Not today. My grandma let me stay home after an audition. What are you up to? Oh, that's real gay, Tala. What are you auditioning for? Actually, I'm on a new case. Oh, there is a log that I can check. Yeah, super heckin' gay. Let's go with... what are you auditioning for? Let's get flirty. Oh, it's not a big deal or anything. A bit part in a TV show. Wait, don't downplay it. That's really exciting. I know, right? I hear it's by the same people as Miami Vice, but that's probably just a lie to get cheap extras. Still, it's nice that they're filming on location, and Grandma is so proud of me. She took me to the salon and everything. That's sweet of her. Does the acting bug run in the family? Nah, but my dad is a big fan of American films. He used to rent out the theater just so Nana and my mother could see them together. You know, back when times were better. They loved The Godfather. I guess I never realized that it was strange for women to go to the movies. Grandma and I see all the newest films. Afterwards, she gets coffee and we talk about whether Mom and Dad would have liked them. Maybe I'm delusional or whatever, but I like to think that wherever my Baba is watching, he's watching the same movies as me. And maybe if I can be in one, he can see me there. Oh. Maybe he will. If you get the part you auditioned for, he'll have a lot of catching up to do when you see them again. Sorry, things must be so tough for you and your family. I mean, according to the news reports I hear. Aw, who's being sweet now? Look, it's nice of you to consider my family, but... well, don't worry about me. Iran's never been a safe place. When I left, I didn't really understand it as a country with politics and history and stuff. My grandma's always telling me how much better things are here, and I believe her, but I can't tell if she wants me to be more American or Iranian. Ah, sorry, I didn't mean to go on and on all about that. No way, it's totally cool. My family came here before the revolution really started, before there were that many other Cubans. They called them golden exiles. It sounds so special, but sometimes it feels like the earlier immigrants are more smug. See, thank you! Thank you, I'm with you, Matt. Like my mom. She thinks I'm more American than the Marieltos because I grew up in the States and speak better English. Grandma made me take a crash course in English when I started flunking, but I only wanted to talk like Katharine Hepburn. My teacher called Grandma to complain, but she told her off. There is no problem if Tala speaks like the most elegant of Americans. Now I wish I sounded like Adrienne Barbeau. Have you seen The Fog? Her voice is so amazing. I do think about it a lot, though. Like, if I'm still Iranian? When Grandma watches the news, it's a place I don't recognize anymore, and I don't know if it would recognize me either. Believe it or not, I know exactly what you mean. I don't want to interrupt, but... What's that weird sound? Where are you? Sorry, that's the blender. Grandma's making lunch if you want to come over and have rice and eggs stuff. It's like an omelet. Kinda. It's good, I promise. Wait, hold on a second. My grandma drove me to one of your shows a few years ago. She says you're welcome in our home anytime. Even over the phone, Tala's voice seems suspicious. I get the feeling Grandma Nasiri doesn't give her too much permission for most of Tala's adventures, and a lunch date with a stranger is probably too much. Tell her thank you very much for the offer, and thank you too, Tala. I'm afraid I'm going to take a brain check on lunch, though. I'm working a case today, and this one's pretty serious. You better get back to it, then. Hey, call anytime, okay? Grandma can take a message from you if she's not out and about. Thanks for the offer. Bye. Tala's real sweet. I can't believe she's so lighthearted despite all that stuff about her family. I guess she's going to graduate soon. I wonder if she's going to keep doing the acting thing. It'd be pretty radical to know someone on TV. I guess I sound like kind of a fan myself. I don't want to let myself get too distracted, though. Better get back to the case. Okay, we going to the cops. Even though we don't like them, we're going to the... Well, see, look, even Chelo doesn't like the cops. Usually, all I need to do is ask the duty officer if Detective Harris is around, but today the police office is bustling and I'm asked to take a seat and wait. Units are bringing in a bunch of well-dressed kids in handcuffs. Looks like a big drug bust. Oh wow, Jed Powers is in the crowd. I'm glad the station is too busy for him to notice me. I guess my tip paid off for some vice cops out there. Even the beat cops have a skip in their step. Oh hey, Detective Harris! If it isn't my new favorite CI, some of the narco guys say they're gonna get you a gift basket, but they probably won't. The gift baskets stink anyhow. Think stale popcorn and peanut brittle. I'm an old man. I can't handle peanut brittle anymore. Glad to know my hard work will do more than fill up your holding cells for the night. I'd still like the gift basket, however. A meal's a meal. I'll be sure to let the guys know. In the meantime, what brings you to Central Booking? I've got a case, and I was hoping you'd be able to tell me if anyone reported anything. Sheriff, this one's pretty personal to me. A high school friend. Roger that, Deputy. Who's missing? Her name's Melanie Schrader. I haven't heard from her in years, but we used to be really close. Her mom says she's been missing for 3 days at least. So Melanie lives at home with her mother? No, she got kicked out while we were still in high school. Okay, then is it strange for Mrs. Schrader to not hear from Melanie for several days? I don't think they talk very often. And this doesn't seem like a case. Excuse me? I can't even file a missing persons report if you can't tell me anything about the person. If the mother's worried, tell her to come in and talk to us. But if they're estranged, the cop working the front desk will tell her the same thing, only nicer. Why don't I get any niceness? Because, Consuelo, you're a professional trying to build a professional relationship. You have to be prepared for bad news, and today the bad news is that I can't go DEFCON 1 because a girl you knew once is missing. Get a coworker or a roommate to come in and talk to us. When Consuelo Martinez, private investigator, comes to the police department, I expect to see facts, evidence, and documentation. And speaking of documentation, you need to register for your PI license, or else I'll kick you out of the bullpen. Okay. So what can you do for me, professionally? I can leave her name with the desk sergeant. If anyone calls in with information, his team can take it down. And if you have a photo, I'll show it around the station. Maybe she's got a record or some beat cops know her face. What neighborhood does she live in? Her mom gave us an address, but it could be old. Could be a start. Grab a pen and write down some of this for me. Anything else? In the course of your investigation, have you visited the cannery? I was thinking of it. Why? Is the police chief skulking around a drag club looking for someone to harass? Chelo, I know I am very, very old, but this is 1986. No one is ordering raids on gay clubs or drag shows anymore, not in Dade County. But the cannery is in Overtown, and Overtown isn't safe. They built the highway so rich folks wouldn't even have to drive through it. We make arrests there every day. I want to help you find your friend, I do, but if she's working out there, she's already taking risks with her life. Detective, it's not Melanie's fault that her neighborhood is unsafe. Besides, her last known address is in a place in Liberty City. We don't know what's happened to her yet, Matt. Liberty City? Are you kidding me? So your missing friend is in one of the 2 neighborhoods where cops aren't welcome. Great. Hey, Tika. Oh, man, just in time. Open notebook for more... Oh, okay, that's the drag club. Melanie's associated with 2 neighborhoods, Overtown and Liberty City, known for being hostile to cops. Okay, the girl from the last case is alive, but we just kind of let her go do her own thing instead of reporting her back to her mother. Yeah. What Karen said. You want me to take the blame for the Dade County PD? Fine. But your father would never forgive me if I let his little girl get into trouble. That's why you have to help Melanie. And me, too. Fine, fine. Is there anything I need to know before I go down there? Any surprises? Whatever work does at the cannery, I think she's desperate for money. She calls her mama when she needs to make rent. I don't think Barbara is subsidizing all of it, though, so she must make up the difference. Maybe she's got a side gig. You said Melanie was your high school friend. She's pretty young to be living on her own. What's that supposed to mean? It means young people need help leaving the nest sometimes. Did she have any other help besides Mrs. Schrader? She stayed with us a couple times when her mom kicked her out, and if her father was around, I never heard about him. Mrs. Barbara Schrader is a piece of work. I think she was one of those serious church ladies. You know, like in Carrie? She said Lucy and I were bad girls and didn't want us hanging out, ever. At least, that's what Melanie told us when she had to stay at home. Mom says we need to spend all night praying so you don't go to hell. One year, she even tried to send Mel to this Catholic school in Alabama. Look, Chelo, I know I'm giving you a hard time, but you have a lot of good information here. It's more than enough to get started on your own. I'll let you know if I think of anything else. Poor kid. I'll try to help you, but missing persons isn't my beat. This is off the books, and I don't want you to get your hopes up. Why? Consuelo, this county alone has 600 murders last year, the most in the country. 25 precincts cover all of them. She's a kid all on her own in the big city. Between the Marieltos and the tourists and the regular folks, we barely know who's in Miami now. Homicide has to cover sex crimes, vice cops and immigration cops. You almost can't tell the difference anymore. And there's fewer people than that, even, to investigate why this one person out of a city of millions is suddenly not here with us anymore. I was a rookie once, too. You can't let your second case break your heart, Chelo. I keep telling myself that, but she's a friend, you know? I slept over at her house. She sang in my band. Maybe if we hadn't fallen out of touch, she wouldn't be in trouble now. Don't go down this rabbit hole, Chelo. Work the case, not the people. You're probably right. I'll page you if I find anything. And you page me if you need any backup, Deputy. Remember, you're not allowed to get in any trouble. Acknowledged. Thanks for your help, Sheriff. Alright, where to next? I'm exhausted, but I promised Lucy I'd meet her for dinner. Better head over to the bankside. Alright, so we're going to the club that Lucy's dad owns. Forcing your way to South Beach during the evening rush is the world's most awful experience. And there's a line outside the bankside, too. A part of me wishes I had just gone home. Glad I've got to know some of the staff here. I moved towards the door and tried to catch the attention of the bouncer. Phew, someone I know. Good thing. I didn't change out of my working clothes before coming here. Dawn, hey, Dawn, I'm here to have dinner with... Oh my gosh, Dawn, what happened? Good evening, Miss Chelo. You're free to go in. Dawn, wait, you look like you need a doctor, or at least a bandage. That's the worst shiner I've ever seen, and my brother got his fair share of those. What's going on? Have you asked Lucy for the night off? We really need to clean that up. Now that I'm closer, I can see the strange wound a little better. Are those claw marks? My stomach turns. Don't worry about it, miss. Please. Okay. Donna's New Bankside's inscrutable bouncer seemed to toss a drunk linebacker without breaking a sweat. Either you're gonna tell me, or I'm gonna ask Lucy about it. She shouldn't have you working out here. At least there's a first aid kit by the bar. Miss Luciana posted me here as punishment. The cousins are in town, and the boss got chewed out for earnings this morning. Everyone's stressed out. The cousins, the boss. I forget sometimes that Lucy is an Escobar. Her father, Rafael Escobar, is in charge of the bank side, but he also safeguards some other Escobar interests in Miami. Lucy insulates me from a lot of it, but the Escobars have been doing business in America for over 10 years now. The drug wars are in the news every night. Word on the street is that the Medellin cartel doesn't trust Rafael with more responsibilities, and they're looking for new talent to expand their empire in the States. And the perfect candidate may already be here. Ah, who am I kidding? Lucy doesn't want me to know about her family's enterprise, and for the sake of our friendship, I don't ask. Yes, those Escobars, Karen. Those Escobars. I don't know if you can date the bouncer, Kyle. But sometimes the evidence of the cartel's violence is right in your face. Or in this case, Dom's face. Stressed out? Someone hit you hard. I spoke out of line and there were consequences. I said nothing to you, okay? This is a good job and I don't want to lose it. A good job? I can't believe it. I opened my mouth to say something, but Donald's already turned away from me. He's opened the velvet rope for two beautiful women who look at me expectantly. Better not make a scene. Not here, at least. The Colombian Escobars ruffled Lucy's feathers. I can't tell at all. She looks as cool as ever. Cielo, my beautiful friend, it is always a pleasure to see you at the bankside, or anywhere at all. Lucy, are you okay? I heard there was trouble earlier. It has been a stressful day. I will need a 2-hour massage at least. Please do not worry. Whenever my family visits, the staff worries. Gossip, it is more deadly than bullets. The Medellin cousins commandeered 30 cases of liquor and are at this minute wrecking the Via in Key Biscayne. Do you mind staying here for dinner? Rex is in charge of the kitchen this week, and I've been aching to try his fish tacos. I'm not satisfied with her explanation, but maybe this isn't the place or the time to grill Lucy about her family. Not while I'm searching for a mutual friend. Melanie could be in danger. What should I do? I'm gonna let Lucy change the subject. Honestly, I was gonna ask the same thing. I've been all around the city today, and I'm exhausted. Then we take the back table and demand tacos and rum shots until I say we can stop. I have scheduled a surprise. Lead the way. She takes my hand in an iron grip and we weave through the dense crowd. Lucy could walk this place blindfolded and at peak hours. An electric impulse flows from her palm to mine. Without knowing why, I can tell she's more tense than she looks. Her fingers pulse and twitch around mine. Back in high school, Georgia would say, Cielo, I need you to be precise, not creative. Don't reinvent the drumline. Your job is to keep the rest of us in line and in sync. Got it? I'm the clock and you're the talent. What's Lucy's job? My throat is getting sore, G, and I'm starving, and Melanie's fingers hurt. I could keep going. I'm okay. See? Mel's gonna keep going, and so am I. Lucy, your voice will get stronger. You'll own the mic, and you're not gonna let it defeat you. You get it, Cielo? Lucy won't ever let herself be conquered. She's the backbone, here to be strong and give that strength to the rest of us. Lucy is uncharacteristically quiet and distracted. Over the years, I've gotten used to Lucy's caginess, but it still gets to me sometimes. I want to talk about Melanie and get back out there. Lucy insists that we eat and digest before we discuss the case. She can't handle more bad news on an empty stomach. She gets her way as usual. And just as usual, she managed to surprise me. After dinner, we retreat to a quiet corner of the bankside. We're sitting down here, but there's a phone on the table. Who are we calling? I told you I wanted an update on Melanie's case. Well, so does Georgia. Georgia?! Georgia was the only one of us to make it big. After performing around Miami for a bit, she got picked up by a producer and moved her to San Francisco. This is why I wanted us to wait. Surprise! A thick velvet curtain muffles the sounds from the rest of the club. Despite the evening's drama, I scoot my chair close to Lucy's until we touch. As the phone rings, I glance at her face. She's just as giddy and happy as I am. Hello, this is G. Georgia! We are both here as promised. Hi, Georgia. How's the West Coast? Beautiful and great, just like you? You too. I miss Miami. The ocean never gets warm around here, so people don't go into it. A cold ocean. Why bother? I miss you too as well. Sometimes, when the cold air comes off the bay, I wish you would just come out here to bring me some sunshine. I'm sending you warm, sticky, sweaty thoughts. Oh, hey, isn't it dinner time where you are? I'll grab some food before curtain tonight. You have a show? What are you wearing? Blue and silver taffeta. You should see this thing. It's enormous. I have the biggest shoulders in the Bay Area. I wish you two could be here. I should never have moved away from my two biggest fans. No way. You stay there, and in 100 years, when I've saved up enough money, I'll come visit you. How's the investigation business going? George's tone becomes soft and concerned. In that instant, I miss her so much that my chest aches. I'm looking for Melanie. I have a few leads, but it's not... Oh, Cielo. What does that mean, I'm looking for Melanie? You can't be talking about Mel Schrader. Good joke, ladies. Tell me you're joking. Lucy, Chelo, can one of you say something, please? She didn't tell you? None of us have talked for such a long time. I thought we would get on the phone first, and then... Melanie's missing. Lucy found out this morning, but she's been gone for days, and based on what I learned today, it's serious. I'm sorry, Georgia. I thought you knew already. It's okay. Can you start from the beginning? We tell her about Barbara's call, and then I describe my day. Georgia is quiet throughout, but we both hear sniffling through the line. When I'm finished, Georgia takes a few deep breaths before saying anything. Chelo, before we start, I want you to know I'm proud of you for starting a business, and I'm extra proud that you're helping our friends. Of course, I want you to work hard and be the best PI and find Melanie, but whatever happened to her, it isn't your fault. Lucy, you're not allowed to beat yourself up either. It's hard to reach me nowadays, and I'm glad you asked me to make a little time, even if... I imagine Georgia by herself in her apartment, coughing to cover up her tears. After Melanie disappeared the first time, Georgia fought the hardest to keep all of us together. I needed to make time for this. Let's work on finding Melanie. I haven't said it out loud yet. But what if I can't? I guess then, well, that cross path on your lifeline has to mean something. Emotional hardship, right? That's palm reading. That's not real. That's what you get for having a low Venus mound. If you can't find her, if you decide that she can't be found, then we'll decide how to respond to it then. I won't speculate about my feelings since I'm too busy hoping you'll find her. I know you will find her, Chilito. It's a lot of pressure. I want to tell you for sure that Melanie will come home soon. From what you've described, you've been all over Dade County looking for her. I'm surprised you haven't gone to the cannery yet. Yeah? She called me for help about a year ago, so I put in some calls at a few clubs where I used to perform. The cannery on the edge of Overtown, they hired her as a barback. Did you warn them about Melanie? They knew she'd had some bad habits, but for a few months at least, she was pretty reliable. And more recently? Mel's a grown woman. Her boss doesn't call me when she disappears. Shame. Either way, it sounds like she should check out her workplace, right? Right. Can you remember anything else about Mel's life? Like, where she might have gone when she needed money? Georgia? It's been a long time since we've talked. Anything I know is way out of date, I'm afraid. I don't mean to sound accusatory, but... Have you called her recently? No. No excuses. We drifted apart, and that was it. Me neither. Then again, Melanie and I have not been close since the thing in high school. The thing? What, that one show we did here when we were like 16? It was so long ago. Who remembers? Yeah, it's been a while, but you never apologized for it. I did not do anything wrong. What's it? What are you two talking about? The night of the show, Mel got drunk. Like, basket case, lying on the bathroom floor, drunk. I didn't know what to do. I thought we had to call an ambulance. Turns out, all she needed was a bump of cocaine. She was right back on her feet. So you gave Melanie her first hit. Oh, wow. Lucy gave Melanie her first hit of cocaine. I'm worried my best friend isn't as innocent as she claims to be. And only that hit. None of this was my fault. Don't get defensive, Lucy. Then stop attacking me! We were young and foolish, and we made many mistakes that if I stopped to regret all of them, I would never be able to live my life. How about you? I hate when she gets like this. Fiery, intractable, she stares into space and invisible enemies and vows to destroy them. I reach out to touch her hand, but it's impossible to reach her. I wish I had known, but it doesn't affect what she was doing the night she disappeared. Right now, it's not helpful. Okay, yes, we're all still friends. I just want her to be okay. Then we must let our Chelo resume her work. I will order a car for you. Rest well tonight. Wait, are you sending me home? I don't... No worries. I gotta head out too if I want to get a snack before curtain call. Call me again, okay? Wow, that dress is something fancy. Okay, the guitarist in the tank top's my high school band. She performs on the West Coast and I miss her dearly. Oh my god, that hair. I will. It was so wonderful to hear your voice, G. We will talk again sometime soon. We hang up. We say our goodbyes. Lucy hurries me out the door and won't look me in the face as she does. When I get home and crawl into bed, I'm thankful for it. I'm tired all over and glad to rest. Dude, I want to cosplay like everybody. It got so late last night that I almost forgot the envelope that Lucy handed to me. For your cab ride home, she said. At least I won't have to worry about the rent for a while. Oh, there's something on the answering machine. Oi, J-Lo, it's Mickey. Call your ma. Okay, ma, I did it. Will you stop? I'm too tired for a lot of this. Good thing my notebook is already packed so I can get on the road immediately. Coffee is not a horrible idea considering how my head is pounding. Coffee and an egg sandwich with a slice of cheese and maybe a glass of milk on the side. Every food sounds delicious, but I don't have time to grab breakfast. There's work to be done after all. Okay, maybe I have a little time to eat, but after that... Okay. So we can either go to the hospitals, we can go to the cannery. I feel like we should go to the cannery later in the day because it's not going to be open this early in the morning. Go to the cannery? Like, my mental options right now, I think we should go to the hospital. I don't think going back to Liberty City is going to do us any good. And I don't think we should go to the cannery until... Yeah, we should have the option to go to all of these throughout the day. So my guess... I'm thinking we should go to the hospital now, and then the cannery. If we go back to Liberty City, we're just going to get, like, roughed up or in trouble. Alright, to the hospital. Miami General is always busy. It's not just nurses and patients anymore. After the riots a few years ago, every local hospital employed a whole complement of security guards. It's enough to make a girl nervous, even a law-abiding one. It's scary to think that Melanie may have ended up here. Even scarier to think of how it might have happened. Hey girl, that's a heck of a frown you got on. Oh, thank heaven for you, Mr. EMT. Every time I'm in here, it's like a maze. Help a girl out? I'm your man, Miss Detective. I assume you need more help with our filing system? Is that the best way to do it? I'm looking for someone who might have been the victim of assault or shown up without ID? Okay, that narrows the field. Scoot on over this way. That is the biggest filing cabinet I have ever seen in my life. Impressive, huh? The nurses keep any suspicious-looking charts over here. Attempted murder, domestic violence, child abuse, that kind of thing. The hospital administrator reviews them and reports likely victims to the authorities. Ah, here we are. Who are we looking for today? Her name is Melanie Schrader, spelled with an S-C-H. Dark hair, blue eyes, a tall drink of water. This is the EMT, Ethan. She's been missing for 3 days, but I thought that she might have wound up at the hospital. No Schrader here. We've got quite a few Jane Does here, but I can't tell you about any of them. Privacy regulations, you get me? There's a girl here who's close, but 5'2" isn't tall. Can you tell me why her file was flagged? Afraid not. Ugh. Is it bad? Wait, the other girl. Something bad happened to her. I can tell. No, this doesn't... Hey! Stop trying to peek! But you definitely noticed something. Do you think you could help me with my case? Maybe yes, but... Can I ask you, do you think someone might have taken your friend Melanie? Like, snatched her? She was almost 6 feet tall and scrappy. Not many people could grab someone like that off the street. Maybe if I pout the way Lucy does, Ethan will let me see those files. Let's see, how does she do it? Ethan? You're gonna get me in trouble with the hospital administrator, the cops, and not to mention my mama. I want to check something out, but I need to look in the files that haven't been flagged. Can I call you tomorrow? You can call me tonight? I'm starting a double shift in an hour, Chayla. Gotta eat. You're right, I'm starving. I'll hit you up tomorrow. I think my hunch is good. Better get a snack before I keep working, or else I'll be grumpy all day. Okay. Now we can go to the camp. Wait. It's morning still. Which means it's going to be afternoon and then evening. I am not going to Liberty City at night. We're going to go to the cannery last because it'll be open and maybe slightly safer than out in the or out in the open of Liberty City. I'm going to Liberty City. I don't want to do this. Hold up a second. Liberty City is a lead, but not a good one. I better collect more information before I go there, or else I'll waste a whole afternoon knocking on doors. Better do some more research first. Okay, so I guess we have to go to the cannery. Alright, you guys win. The cannery. Even with the AC blasting, the air feels heavy and wet. People here are thick and real. When there's a great performance here in the cannery, you can feel the whole place pulse. You can taste it in the air. It's there all the time, even before the show when everyone's rehearsing. The bar staff hang on every moment. They interrupt their prep work to applaud the queens and kings. 3 waitresses in platform heels walk by, and I don't know their faces. It strikes me suddenly that I don't know anyone here. Why, hello there, Alice. My name's Chelo. Oh, I get it. I'm through the looking glass. Does that make you the Cheshire Cat? You certainly have a big, beautiful smile. A big, beautiful everything, if I do say so myself. That's why they call me Big Vanessa. There was a small Vanessa once. She was delicious. I love her! She's amazing! Alright. Big Vanessa, let's see. Big Vanessa, the Queen of Overtown, the proprietress of a nasty, beautiful drag review called The Cannery. Nice to meet you, Big Vanessa. I'm here investigating one of your employees. Whoops, I just felt my lips slam shut. My mouth, too. If you're looking for a canary, none of my girls will sing. They're shitty singers anyhow, so most of them lip sync. Oh, no. I'm not here to find a snitch. I was hired to look for a friend of mine, Melanie Schrader. When I say that name, Big Vanessa's swagger slips away. She closes the distance between us and grips my shoulders hard enough to hurt. She stares at me, and I stare back, examining the deep creases beneath her eyes, the evidence of long years of laughter and sadness. Are you a debt collector? Or a cop? I'm a friend, an old friend. I've known Melanie since high school, and we just found out she was missing. I was hired to find out where she went. You clearly know her, so can you answer a few questions? I didn't know Melanie well, and I don't know you at all. But I suppose, if they're good questions, I can answer some. Thanks. Let's see. When was Melanie last here? I could check the time cards, but 3 or 4 days ago. She didn't call in sick either, but that's typical. I'd fire her if only I could find her. What do you mean, typical? Did Melanie disappear a lot? She wouldn't disappear exactly. Sometimes we get a call from a hospital or a rehab center. Once she called for a ride after the cops held her overnight. She and a bartender who won't be named once drove to Orlando for an audition on a Friday night. So why didn't you fire her? It's a tough world. Here you have a good kid, there, a bad employee. The cannery would be far less interesting if I only hired good employees, yeah? Plus, my right-hand man is a big old softy. He and Melly are close. Whenever she's on the chopping block, he comes to the rescue. Was that frustrating for you? I see it all the time. These skinny kids who love the music and the makeup and the lifestyle. It's hard to live like this, though. Harder than they think. Better than it used to be, though. A decade ago, the cops were busted, hunting down draft dodgers and homosexuals. I can open the cannery every night and know that most of the cops are busy playing Don Johnson out on the beach. Melly still had it rough, though. Worse than most. Even if you get paid for 5 shifts a week, 2 on Saturday, you need that extra cash. Even the best of us need tips and tricks to pay the rent. Do you know exactly how Melanie was making up the difference? I'll tell you what I can. You ever meet one of those people that was so happy to be around people, but never quite seems comfortable around them? Maybe? That was always the vibe I got from her. She just was one of our stars, Prince Charming. Big Vanessa leads me to a wall covered in photos and unpins one in particular. I haven't seen Melanie in a few years. She's paler than I remember, but still curvy, happy. Her makeup is perfect. Is this a professional photo? The most recent photo I have of Melanie is from our high school prom. Take it. I have a photographer come in for all of our big events. This one was from a prom theme night. We got a photo arch, big gowns, and corsages for all the ladies. Thanks. So she'd waitress a shift, and I assume she'd go late into the night. What kind of job do you get after closing time in a Miami club? I see the slightest twinge in Big Vanessa's face, but it vanishes in an instant. I blink, and her face has become an inscrutable mask. I suppose she does what we all do, honey. She hustles. You sell your things, cut the air conditioning, give up the car, and some good food. Maybe she started slinging dope. It's not my job to care about her side jobs. Did you see the guy outside scamming tourists for singles? He was some big-time real estate guy in Fort Lauderdale until the market crashed. You want to pry around other people's business? That's your funeral, honey. Don't pull me into it. I didn't expect such a fierce response. Is it time to launch the Chelo Martinez charm offensive? Do we try to be charming? Or is she gonna be like, save it? Yes, be charming? Alright, that's 2 for charming. What if I offered you dinner and compliments? Ooh, dinner and flattery with a handsome young woman and a promising career finding lost souls? I know you're just trying to butter up an old queer, but I appreciate it all the same. Prince Charming, get over here! I'll introduce you to Melanie's closest friend here, and he can decide if you're worth our time. Good evening, miss. How can I help you, Big Vanessa? Little waif thinks she can find Melly for us. What do you think? Prince Charming steps in close. He's warm and breathing hard, probably from rehearsal. I think he did a number to princes when doves cry. Wish I could see his real performance, not just rehearsal. He's looking straight into my eyes like he's trying to find the center of me. Oh, you just think she's cute. I'm Janet Lessig in the phone book, but here at the Cannery, I'm your handsome Prince Charming, here to sweep you off your feet. Alright, we met us a Janet! Janet Lessig offstage, Prince Charming on the catwalk of the Cannery, a drag king with a dazzling smile. Prince Charming spins on his heel, arms out in a showy pose. So you're looking for Melanie. She hasn't been here for days. We called since she's expecting a paycheck. I heard she's been hurting for money, though. She usually finds extra work up in Liberty City. Okay. Now we can probably go back to Liberty City. This is gonna be terrible. Mil's been hanging out in Liberty City. She used to live there, but now it's very far from her workplace. You've described her to a T. Can you tell me exactly where she went? Only with your permission, Big V. You know I can't resist a girl who offers me dinner. What are your thoughts on questionable legality, girl? Are you gonna bring down the heat on this place on us? I'm not the representative of the law, but I respect it. Maybe something really bad happened to Melanie. Of course I'd want justice for her, and I don't trust myself or anyone else who loved her to dispense that kind of justice, not fairly. I really don't think so, so I'd turn them into the cops and hope that justice would be served. You think the cops dispense fair justice? Were you here 6 years ago? I mean, no, but who else? You can't even say it, can you? There's no justice for people like us. You call the cops on our heads, you get a bunch of good hustlers in trouble. I'm not trying to get anyone thrown in jail. Sounds to me like you don't much care who you run over so long as you get to find your little friend. Should've known better. She's the kind of girl who brings heartache and trouble wherever she goes. Oops, I found a hair. It doesn't mean we can't help her, or that we should withhold on Miss Martinez. We just need to know that your help doesn't come with strings attached. We won't risk the Cannery or get the people in it for your career. Absolutely not. I don't know if I understood your relationship with the law when I came in here, but I'm not going to break the china, I promise. I can't shake the feeling that this is going to bite me in the ass. Then I'll tell her. Auntie won't kill both of us. Nah, she's a thorn in my side. I'll take this on. Sometimes a woman I know named Auntie has extra work for some of the girls. She works out of Liberty City. She's got a dirty mouth and a mean streak, but she's protective. That's how we found Melly, actually. Auntie asked me to take in another one of her strays, give her a real job. So when Melanie got desperate for cash, right, she went back to Auntie for side work. I don't know if Melly was working directly for Auntie ever, but she talked about watching the girls, doing makeup, sometimes driving them to the doctor for checkups. She was always good at contouring. They love her backstage. The girls? Are you saying? Auntie turns girls out. She keeps them as clean and safe as she can, but it's a tough operation and she doesn't trust people easily. Figures I would know the only white madam in a black neighborhood, yeah? You think Melanie went back to work for her? Like I said, I don't know for sure, but if one of my employees says she needs extra money, I send them up there. When they come back, they don't talk about it. And as long as they come back, I don't ask questions. I know it must feel like we just send them out into the wild. Taylor, please don't think we didn't care about Melly. I liked Melly when we hired her. Sure, she had a bad attitude sometimes, but when she was sober, she could really brighten up your day. That doesn't mean I could keep her out of trouble all the time. As soon as she leaves the club, she's her own woman. That means making her own bad choices. Bad choices? What is she talking about? Strong words, but you got a big soft spot for Melly. A year ago, she went missing for days. Prince was the one who talked her out of the apartment and checked her into rehab. She called it an occasional drug habit, and when you have a habit, you need money. And Auntie has a way of finding extra money for pretty girls. Oh, shit. Melanie's life since high school has been desperate for work, money, or both. She was vulnerable and lonely. Aw, hey Shannon! Have to go and talk to her. What does Auntie look like? She's got a mean face, like she's always sucking on lemons. She's big, but I see that look. Not as big as me, obviously. Not as big, black, and beautiful in any way. Oh shit, it's that bitch! A mean-faced pimp named Auntie may have hired Melanie for some sketchy odd jobs around Liberty City. Thanks for your help, Big Vanessa. I'll let you know if I find anything. You take care of yourself too, Miss Chalo. I want to see you again under more pleasant circumstances. For what it's worth, so do I. Thank you for your faith in me. I'll do my best for both of you, and for Melanie too. When Prince and Vanessa leave, the shock hits me like a wave. They weren't talking about a stranger. This is Mel, my friend, my childhood friend. I'm worried and scared for her, and resentful of all the times I had a free moment and didn't bother to call. It's hard to focus on the facts, but... Concentrate, Chalo! You need to stay on track! Melanie occasionally used drugs. I know she was out of money and struggling to make rent. She never would have called her mother otherwise. She might have turned to Auntie, a known pimp, but right now, all I know for sure is that she went to Auntie for help, not that she was working for her. That's it. Right now, I need to find her. I can worry later about how I failed her and how I can help. If she's trying to get away from this life, then that's up to her as well. I just need to know what happened so I can help her. I just have to focus on Mel herself. And looks like we're going back to Liberty City, guys. I can't see this one ending well, especially because we've already had an interaction with... Before the Cocaine Cowboys took over South Beach, Liberty City was a nice neighborhood. Papa used to bring me and Mickey here to see Mickey Mantle's house. Now, you can keep an eye out for hole-shaped lumps in people's jackets. A slow-moving car could be a plainclothes cop or a gang leader scoping out new turf. Hard to tell which is worse these days. Rumors that the Escobar's payroll includes hundreds of Dade County cops. But my relationship with Lucy won't save me if they decide to leave Liberty City guns a-blazing. Who's this? Have you lost something, ma'am? Who the hell are you? Rude. I'm here looking for a friend of mine. Do you know Melanie Schrader? I heard she might be working around these parts. I'm not exactly a native, so I could really use the help. My name's Chalo Martinez. Everyone around here calls me Auntie. You need more than help, Chalo. Here's my advice. Get out of here before you get yourself into trouble. Auntie? I know that name. As soon as I have information about my friend, I'm out of here. Melanie. She's a brunette, 23 years old or so. Have you seen her around here? Please, Auntie. I'm just looking for my lost friend. She's been missing for a few days now, and all I care about is making sure she's okay. Look, you seem like a good kid. I gotta tell you, I could really use your help too, because Melly's not the only person who's gone missing recently. Keep talking. First one wasn't mine, but she knew girls around here. Helen, brunette, kept to herself. I knew it was happening, so I paid Melly to keep an eye on him like she used to. The girls, they know the risk of working here, but they expect me to protect them. Then Yolanda. I was fond of her. She was a friend. Was? After the attack, Yolanda couldn't handle the city anymore. Decided to move back in with her mom in Fort Lauderdale. And Melly. She was ambitious, happy to help. Always smiling. Right. There's no, committee for people like me who do the things we do. We don't compare notes, so some folks work for gangs. Word got around. Melanie was one of 6 total, all brunettes on the taller side. Shit, 6 victims? That I know of. One girl tried to report it to the police and got laughed out of the district. Prostitute went missing? Big surprise. Come back when something interesting happens. Fuck those people. So what happened to Yolanda? Did she go to the hospital or anything? Psych ward. I bribed an orderly to sneak me in, though he was a sniveling wreck. I bet he spilled the beans already. She didn't remember much. Says she was drugged, but she's got an aunt, a real one who lives in Coral Gables, and she thinks she remembers some of the side streets from there. Huh. That's a nice part of town for a snatch and grab. Was she near La Sasibera? Nah, I think more south. Bigger houses, nicer streets. No offense. How did she know how nice the neighborhood was? That's the strange thing. Until she passed out, Yolanda said he was a perfect gentleman. Nice enough. Normal. Then a rag was over her face and this asshole packed into the trunk of his car. She woke up at the hospital. The car was a red Chevy with a white top. With a trunk big enough for a tall woman. Many poor brunettes from Liberty City have gone missing lately. Some of them were snatched and taken south. Wow. Okay. Girl, I told Yolanda I'd protect her and I failed. This time I told her I'd find the guy and rip his fingernails off one by one. I won't fail her again. There's a reward for you if you help me find this son of a bitch. I won't do it for you, Auntie, or your money. Thank you for helping me. I know it wasn't easy for you. Alright, so... yeah. Auntie's a pimp who runs out of Liberty City Project. She looks and smells like stale cigarettes. If I see the cops sniffing around me or mine, I'll put your face through a wall. I didn't want this job to suck so much. There's nothing more I can do tonight. I better head home and collect my notes. Alright. Oh, man. Okay. Oh no, I fell asleep face down in a pile of notes. Worst case scenario, I drooled on some. What's that thumping? Is it my head, or... Wait, I'm here! I'm putting on clothes and coming to the door. Give me just a second! Good morning, Chelo. Can I come in? Good morning, Sheriff. I didn't expect you to drop by. Sure, come on in. I can't offer you coffee or anything. I actually just woke up. You can probably tell. No need, Consuelo. I'm here on official police business. You've been working on a case recently. Can you tell me about it? Sure. Let me collect some of my notes here. As you know, I've been investigating the disappearance of my friend Melanie Schrader. I was given her last known address, so I started there. And do you know of her recent whereabouts? Well, I can tell you where she was last seen. She was last seen at the cannery, right, guys? Or was it Liberty City? Which one do you think it's gonna be? Because... I think it's gonna be Liberty City. Oh, but I can't... Liberty City? Okay. Did you go out there to look for her, Chelo? I thought you said you'd stay out of trouble. Even if I did go, it was for an important reason. I said I'd never go by myself at night. So you shouldn't tell Mama, okay? Hey, take it easy, Deputy. I know you've been worried about your friend, and I know it's hard to look for someone you love. You're not the one under investigation, Chelo. Yeah, because it feels like I'm being grilled right now. What else do you want to know? What's this about, Detective? We'll get to that in a minute. So Ms. Schrader works as a waitress at a nightclub in Overtown that features drag queens. Wait, how did she end up in Liberty City after hours? I'm not positive, not yet. Do you need a minute? We can sit if you like. No, I can power through this. You're doing great. I swear, though, from what I found, she didn't sound like she would run away. She must be hurt, right? She must not be able to get back home. She may have been taken by someone. I just don't know why anyone would do that. Any ideas? I think we're going with... Oh my god, Sierra, hey! Are we gonna... She was taken... It was like 6 other... Yeah, it's young brunette, right? I don't think she was the only girl taken. There have been other brunettes who have disappeared. Some who ended up injured. So I hear. I know for a fact she fit a profile. So you think there's a trend? I know you want to protect your source, but is there any way I can ask you for a name? Absolutely not. And I don't think your average patrolmen are going to go into Liberty City to ask questions anyhow. Hey, Ryan! I mean, if Barnes wants to come, he can come. Ain't no thing. The riots were 6 years ago. Cops still have to do their jobs. Sure. There are some informants in that neighborhood that we could ask. Not many tall white women out there either, so they're memorable. Sheriff, I'm happy to answer your questions all day, but I really, really need to know why you're suddenly interested in Mel. I'm sorry, just a few more questions. Where would you begin a search for Miss Schrader? Fuck, I didn't take notes. Wait, hang on, I got a notebook. It wasn't Coral Gables, so would you say Overtown? I think it's Overtown. Or are you saying it was Coral Gables? That's true. Ah! Hi, honey! You made it! I think it was Coral Gables. This is a long shot, I know, but she might have wound up in Coral Gables. I've been asking around a lot and... Nothing. That's just where my investigation led me. Okay, so last stream we did the first case. I don't remember if you were here for that. No, you were here for that one. So basically the beginning of this case is that, one of Chalo's high school friends went missing. One of her band members. And we're trying to find her right now. Okay. So this is basically where we just went through, like, the quick and dirty of it, so. I don't think it's the detective, honey. He's her uncle. Sorry I can't tell you more. I want Melanie found more than anything. But other people are depending on me to keep their secrets, and I really don't want to jeopardize any of them. Not many people feel like they can trust the cops these days. Don't I know it. Can you tell me why you're here, Detective? Chalo, I've known you almost all your life, and I watched you grow into a strong, smart young woman. And since you're smart, you already know that I am not a vice cop or even a missing persons investigator. I'm a homicide detective. Oh. What's going on? At around 5 a.m. this morning, local PD found a young woman's body in the Miami River. I was paged when patrol found her purse upriver, caught on a pier. We don't have a positive ID yet, but if you can corroborate, I think it might be Melanie Schrader. Does her mom know? Does Lucy? We haven't informed her family. We were hoping to get a positive ID on her before subjecting a family member to any trauma. I'm very sorry, Chalo. I don't know what to say. There were sad possibilities and horrible ones. Maybe she hated her life here so much that she picked up and left without telling us. Maybe she was in rehab. She was using drugs. But there was nothing I could do. Melanie may have been gone before I even started looking for her. Chalo, I know it's unfair of me to ask you to stay calm right now. But there's more, and I need to know if you can handle it. She's already dead! How could there be more? A related missing persons report has been filed for one of Melanie's associates. The information has been coming in hot and fast, but your name came up. That's why I'm here, Chalo. We're investigating a potential serial killer, and a woman named Janet Lessig might be his next victim. No! This is not my first funeral. But Melanie was a close friend, and she was young. Her mother is heartbroken. Despite their differences, Barbara speaks warmly about her child. The mourners are mostly family, and they don't linger. No one does. Detective Harris is there. Sometimes serial killers show up at funerals, he says. I'm too distracted to notice. Lucy doesn't let go of my hand until we're well out of bounds of the cemetery. You tried your hardest, she says. It doesn't feel like it, I say. Then try harder tomorrow. Come with me, Chalo. We have one more thing to do tonight. Wait, I really need to talk to you about Mel. Can we stop by the club and get changed first? I hate funeral clothes, especially in this weather. Sure. Yeah, I suppose. Hey, Dave. Oh. That is much better. Thank you for waiting, Chalito. Yeah, And thank you for coming with me to the club. I set something up for us in my office. No, stop. Lucy. Can we talk about Melanie? Yes, I want to talk about her as well. I am very sad about her loss. I spent years wondering if I should try to make up with her, but I never reached out. Make up with her? You did this to her! What? Georgia said you gave Melanie her first hit back in high school, and you still run this bar and everything! The cartel, the drugs, you were directly involved! Someone killed Melanie, but your influence pushed her into the dark hole she was in. Maybe if she hadn't done the coke back in school, she wouldn't... It's too sad for me to finish. I stare hard at Lucy. I want her to scream at me or to break down like I am. But my friend's face is a marble relief. And what about you? What about me? Of all my friends, you have known me the longest. Has my bad influence dragged you into a deep, dark hole? Has my business made you a drug addict? No. Tate! It's a murder mystery game for the most part, guys. Like, it's a mystery game. Like, that's just gonna happen. Have I hurt your community somehow? I know there's a lot of violence on the streets. Do you think I'm involved in that? Are you? I want to know why you are blaming me for Melanie's disappearance, and also her death. Did you recognize many of the people in her funeral? They were mostly strangers to me. Her life was filled with kind people who could also not save Melanie from herself. Whatever influence I had was gone by the time she was taken from us. If you want to yell at me from 5 years ago, but fine, but that's useless. That's not the point. You're part of the system that's really tearing Miami apart. Melanie lived in an active gang area. And will they stop hustling if I go out of business? The Medellin cartel fails and the street corners will be empty? I mean, no, I guess not. You are angry with me, and I am sorry, but this is my business, and it is successful. I help my community when I can. Oh, thank you for the follow. We send money to my uncle and his kids back home. I'm doing the best I can, and sometimes I still hurt people. Given all of it, can we still be best of friends? I think about Melanie. Did Lucy really drive her that far off track? I don't really think that one bad night caused all the pain that she suffered every night afterwards. Then again, I think about Dawn the bouncer and all the Dawns I don't get to know. Is Lucy lying? Maybe she's got blood on her hands and I'd never even know. It's exhausting, examining my best friend's face and searching for the dark crags. There's evidence that she's a bad person. I don't even know what a bad person is. It's not just disobeying the law, right? Especially when it feels more and more like laws are made to hurt us. Yeah, I'm with Ez. Can we kind of cut the drug jokes, guys? Please? Thanks. I think... I won't give up on... Yeah. I've got a lot to think about. Okay, John. Thanks much. Take care. Maybe I never thought about the cartels and drug stuff as something you actually contribute to. I know Papa wasn't on the level all the time either. Or Mickey. It's hard to make your way when money is always tight. But it just feels like there's a world of difference between what they did and your business. I know that you do care about me and that you've always been there for me when Papa and Mickey were in jail and whenever I needed you. I'm not gonna lose you, am I? Promise you won't just be gone someday? Of course not, Chalito! I promise. I know that business can be hard to understand, but I never want you to be confused about me and my intentions. I set up a good sound system in our old album in one of the back offices. I wanted to surprise you, but I thought we could listen to it and have some drinks. For Melanie. Can we sing along? Do you still remember the words? No, we're 23. Yeah, I think so. Me too. Alright guys, here we go. Here is one of the Tank Tops songs. Oh my god, look at the hair. I like the trash bag in the corner. Okay, so I think that's the half a case. The girl in the back is Chelo. Alright guys, I'm gonna continue with case 3. We might not... Oh, thank you for the follow. We're gonna keep going because I'm not cutting it off here. Yeah, exactly what Karen says. We'll at least start this one. I knew it, did I not? You knew what, Mrs. Woon? I don't know what you're talking about, but it's early and I could use an egg sandwich. Haven't you been listening to the radio or watching the television news? Or outside all week they're calling him the doll collector in the news. These policemen all over the street looking for these missing girls, disrupting business. I do not like it. I had they searched for the young women 2 weeks ago, they would not be here now, tramping through my store. Right, that. Honestly, how could I forget? First I find that Melanie was the victim of a serial killer, and now there's a countywide dragnet for the latest victim. It's been all over the news, and I haven't been able to do anything. What do you mean you knew it? The police do not search for my daughter, but now that 3 girls are missing, they pass out flyers and roll through the community, scaring everyone. I don't know if she did, Karen. I don't think so. This is what happens when you ignore the little people. I knew they'd use this tragedy as an excuse to invade 7th Street. The last few days have felt kind of oppressive. Is there anything I can do, to help? You have a friend at the police station, yes? Make him get rid of these goons. I'm with you, Mrs. Woon, but Detective Harris is working a murder case right now. I don't think he has time to just drop by and... Good morning. I knew it! Hello, Sheriff. What brings you to my neighborhood today? Not a social visit, I'm afraid. I'm here to take you to Central for some questioning. You're going to be a witness in the case of Melanie Schrader. Ha! He is here for the doll collector. No dolls here, sir. Mrs. Woon, can I get an egg sandwich to go? No time, I'm afraid. There's some people at the station that I'd like you to meet. But tell the policeman to leave my store alone. I want them to stop coming in and plundering the coffee. They can find their collector somewhere else. I'll try, ma'am, but please note, the officers are present for your safety and protection. Is my daughter safe? Will Consuelo be safe if you're dragging her into this? This man hunts brown-haired girls. A whole community may be in danger. No, we're not romancing the cop. As I said on the news, we're doing our best to protect everyone. The FBI is helping us build a profile. He's a white male, which means white women are at the most risk. That's all I can say for certain, but you and your daughter can relax. Relax? When your officers are stomping through my store and... The patrolmen are doing a broad canvass to make sure that the killer isn't searching for the other victims. They're here for your protection, but I'll ask them to take it easy. Have a nice day, ma'am. Chelo, after you. Oh, Sierra, you haven't met my fucking husband yet. You could have handled that better. I've only slept 3 hours a night since I was assigned this case, Taylor. I've taken 4 shifts on the phone lines, and we're still no closer to finding this guy. Kyle, you can't romance the cop. He's your relative. My slimeball husband? I love my slimeball husband. He hasn't shown up yet in this case. At least I'm in good company. Dade County has dispatched the full police force to catch this maniac, and they're working their asses off. No kidding. Everyone in the neighborhood is either pissed or terrified. It's all thanks to your officers stomping around and demanding information. The chief of police whipped this community into a frenzy, but are these extra patrols actually protecting us? No, they're just shaking the bushes and hoping the collector falls out, which is pointless. This guy already has his next victim, so we can assume he's not prowling around Little Havana looking for a new one. Yet. Yeah, Kyle, you can date him then. Believe me, Chelo, I know. That's precisely why you're here. I need you to give a witness statement, but I wanted to get you both in the same room. Chelo, meet Vanessa Sorry, Big Vanessa. She's the manager of the club where both victims worked. I need your help, ladies. Cops can't go everywhere in this city. No kidding. But I want to find these girls. Not Central PD, me. Not Central PD, me. And I'm going to use whatever resources I have to get anyone else from getting hurt. Yeah, Janet's missing now, too. It's a little too late for that, my dear detective. I lost one girl already, and I'm going to lose another. If this city intends to wipe out the rest of its gays by letting some rich son of a bitch kill us one by one, I have no intention of letting that happen. And Chelo here is good at what she does. She can get information that I don't have access to. I think you should hire her to find Janet Lessig. This girl? You kidding me? I'm familiar with her work. She wasn't able to find Melanie, was she? On the contrary, Chelo was on the right track, and if she'd had the resources of the PD behind her, maybe we'd have caught that guy. I dismissed Chelo before. It's a mistake I don't intend to make again. Come on, Vanessa, you owe me. I owe you shit, cop. Has our professional relationship ever protected my girls, or stopped any raids on the club, or even once over the past 20 years? You know it has. Don't tell me what I know, detective. What I know is that your officer spent this morning barging into dressing rooms, ripping costumes, and scaring the shit out of my performers. I've been shut down for 2 nights now, thanks to you assholes. And what for? We're not the bad guys, but your officers are treating all my girls like suspects instead of potential victims of a monster. professional relationship? Do you two know each other? Wait, that's not a question for now. Can we all take a breath and focus on finding Janet? Big Vanessa, you've got no reason to trust me right now, and even less reason to trust the police. But Melanie she was one of my best friends. I did everything I could to find her, believe me. I hate that I couldn't save her. It's a hole inside me. There are people who could have helped me and they didn't. I won't be able to look them in the eyes for a while. But all I can do right now is take all that rage and grief and use it to find Janet. There's still time for her. I don't know if I can convince you, but that's all I can say. Alright, Detective, I'll work with your girl. Just know that if we find this bastard before your police do, we're gonna mess him up. Fine. Tell me what I can do to help. Is there any way you can get a look at the police files on the case? That depends. Have you filed for your private investigator license yet? Well, let's go ahead and say the paperwork is in the mail, shall we? I want to get you started since we've got a lot of material to go through. Assuming, of course, that she has the job. Ms. Martinez, I have been in this town a long time. They say no one's from Miami, that we're all migrants here. But I planted my roots a long time ago. I've seen revolutions large and small, little collapses and grand beginnings. Overtown used to be Broadway for colored folks. I watched them muscle out our people and businesses and build a highway over the ruins of a beautiful neighborhood. Maybe that's the agony of being an old woman. I see all this change, and I just want to collect pretty things around me and keep them safe. People disappear, I know. I've lost friends and children to the Hanson fellows. Joe Lewis winked at me once at the Night Beat Club. Right. I think Chandler's shirt is actually a baseball and a starfish. Oh, we can't see all of it on, I must have cut it off a little bit for the screen capture. Sorry. Part of me just wants to let him go, you know, unclench my fist and let everything I love float into the bay. I don't know what to do. I rest my hand on hers and I can feel it shaking. Honey, don't think I'm so old that I won't flirt with a pretty young thing like you. Then I'd say you're not old enough to give up on these girls. Flattery will get you everywhere, babe. You're hired. Assuming that Cello's private investigation license, her paperwork misfiled by a county clerk. Big Vanessa winks at me as she hands Detective Harris a $20 bill. Let me show you the police files on the doll collector, Cello. Thanks. To both of you. The files don't have much information, but more and more officers come by with boxes to contribute. Other possible victims, new leads. Turns out the doll collector had victims in South Carolina, in Georgia, and maybe in Alabama, too. Physical evidence found near Melanie Schrader tied almost 20 open cases together, all pointing to one killer, a serial killer. Everyone is mobilized to find Janet Lessig. Local law enforcement, the Coast Guard, even the FBI. I don't know if we can date Big Vanessa. The pattern was there all along. If only they'd seen it before Mel went missing. Let's see. Detective Harris received one convincing call on the tip hotline. A witness in Liberty City says she saw Janet get into a suspicious truck. Big V also mentioned discreetly that she'd introduced me to Melanie's landlady, Auntie. I'm not eager to talk to her again, but Auntie knows the area well and knows several other victims. Yeah, Jeb was taken in. Oh yeah, you weren't here for that. Jeb got taken in. There's also some indication that this killer may have victims across the state line. An FBI profiler is in town for the next 2 days to help with the manhunt. The hospital offered to pull some files together for Central PD. Detective Harris said I could have a first look if I brought them to the precinct office afterwards. And last but not least, Janet's little room in the back of the cannery. The cops have gone over it with a fine-tooth comb, but maybe I can find something new. I guess this is the benefit of working with the police, huh? Instead of too few leads, I've got too many. Not to mention this page I got from Tala. She tried to explain the code. Oh, thank you for the follow. Mrs. Woon's daughter was found, but she never came back. That's right, the red car with the white top. Good thinking, Az. She tried to explain the codes that high school kids use these days. Does this mean free after school? Well, I have to begin somewhere, and it's already past lunchtime. Okay. I think the best thing for us to do at this point is probably to pick up the victim files. So I'm gonna do that. We're gonna go back to the hospital so you guys can see your boyfriend over there. There's a line to talk to the nurse at the front desk, and I slide in behind a toddler who was making silly faces. Behind his mother's back, we exchange toothy grins and roll all of our eyes around. It's hard to have fun and relax when I know I'm here for the files on the doll collector's victims, but at least for the moment I managed to not think about it. But all too soon, it's my turn at the desk. Hi, my name is Taylor Martinez. I'm here to pick up some files for Central PD. We've been expecting you. I'll need you to make a copy of your ID. Here's our document checkout form and a copy of our disclosure form, just in case. Just in case what? Just in case you cops have forgotten what physician-patient confidentiality means and expect more information. Everything we have to give you is here. End of story. Oh, I'm not a... Next, please. I keep telling myself that everyone wants this guy caught, but sometimes it doesn't really feel like it. Detective Harris said I could get the first look at these documents if I ran them over for his precinct office, so I should dig into them now. I wish I had a little help digging through these. And by cue, here comes... excuse me, is there any chance Ethan Brown is working today? I could really use a consult? Wow, this nurse has a really powerful eye roll. I can feel her irritation in my teeth. I'll give him a page. If you clear the front desk area, we really need to get back to our patients. Yes, ma'am. I'll just wait right there. Let's see... Ugh, most of these records are handwritten and so sparse. Ethan is the EMT, Shannon. I can't get any details out of them. What did Detective Harris say? These are just the Metro Hospital records that match the victim profile. We don't know for sure if they're actually collector victims. So the hospital pulled white women ages 18 to 35, brown hair, at least 5'8", who had reported a violent encounter with a stranger. Miss Jane Doe was picked up from south of Coral Gables, says a man tried to drug her where she popped the car door and rolled out. Minor bruises. Lara Brennan, picked up by a man in a new-looking red Chevy truck when she was trying to hitchhike to Tallahassee. Red Chevy! Here's a scribbled note. Victim says when she woke up, her makeup had changed. I wonder if the police took samples of the new makeup? Oh, this one seems familiar. Prostitute reports being taken for a ride, waking up with cuts and contusions on her leg and upper body. She also ID'd the red Chevy. No license plate information, though. At least there's a definite connection between the truck and the abductor. Alright. Hospital records show that multiple women have been grabbed and messed up by a man in a red Chevy. What about the actual medical records? I can't make head nor tails of these, and the victim's statements aren't as helpful as I'd hoped they'd be. If only I were in some kind of medical facility where someone helpful could interpret these charts for me! Then it's a good thing you pay someone helpful and that he happens to be on duty. What's got you down, Taylor? Oh, it's good to see you again. I can barely interpret doctor handwriting little and figure out what they're trying to say with it. You are too, Spoopy Sierra. According to Dr. Hassan, bad handwriting is part of the Hippocratic Oath that no one can read. It looks like you got your work cut out for you. The nurse should have given you a box for all those files. Are those the ones you're focusing on? Yes, these in particular. They most could describe a man who might be the... I look around, but most people in the waiting area are reading the magazines, dozing, or otherwise not paying attention to me. Still, I should probably find somewhere a little more private next time. Might be the doll collector? You didn't hear it from me. My lips are sealed. Just yesterday, we had a building-wide preparedness meeting to talk protocol on how we can work better with the police. Some folks missed the memo, I guess. Nurses get a pass. I know the cops just get on their turf and demand records and stuff. It must be pretty stressful. Still, if it's obstructive, I'll talk to the hospital administrator about it. We need to work together to stop this guy, right? For instance, Bonnie, our front desk specialist, could have given you a heads up about this weird toxicology report. Halothane, it says here, with a little bit of Valium. That's a combination you really never see. Yeah? What makes it so strange? Halothane is an anesthetic. You don't really see it in hospitals anymore. It's been linked to liver problems. Most girls who get drugged come in with ketamine in their systems. This combination's like... Gosh, it's like an older person came up with it. It's not exactly a household name unless your household has a dentist in it. I mean, it'll knock you out, except... Except what? Except sexual abuse mostly involves drugs that makes victims forget what happened. You see those a lot in the club scene these days, but it can't be that because... I mean, I'm not an MD, but... Nah, never mind, don't listen to me. You should really ask a specialist about this stuff. The crime lab guys will look, but I'm here now, and so are you. What do you see, Ethan? Well, this combination seems specifically designated so that the victim remembers. The Valium makes them feel detached, like they're not themselves. Your victims would be immobile but nearly unconscious, but once they wake up, they'll remember anything. Oh shit, that's fucked up! That's real fucked up. Doll collectors' victims were given a cocktail of drugs that make them numb, but able to remember. I don't get it. These women were helpless. I mean, the cops kind of figured that he was making them pretty or dressing them up. Why does he care so much that they remember it? Maybe it's not just about being dressed up. The drugs he uses, it looks like he wants them to know how he made them pretty. Ugh, how do you handle this kind of stuff? I was gonna ask you the same thing. I just need to put myself in his head for a little bit. So he gives them all the drugs, tortures them for a few days, and wants them to remember all of it as he's getting ready to kill them? I don't know. He seems to think it's pretty important, so maybe he wants them to participate. Or it's a power trip. If they don't know what's happening, it doesn't count. Thanks for the follow! So what's happening for both of them? A memorable event we're getting ready as part of the ritual? What does that remind me of? Chelo? Did I lose you? Oh, sorry, I got lost in thought. No, you impressed me. I can impress you again in a late breakfast tomorrow. Wait, did that come off as creepy? I'm sorry. My point is, I'd like to see you sometime when we don't have to talk about kidnapping, drugs, or horrible wounds. Any kind of wounds, really. Oh no, this is definitely not the time to ask you. Ask me what? Out? Oh! I mean, if I'm at the hospital asking about a missing person, there's probably no right time to ask for something like that. But I could use a bake from the Grim stuff too. What'd you have in mind? I get off shift at 11. How about a secret surprise and a quick brunch? All on me, of course. I know you're busy, but I can promise you good company at least for a little while. I'll try to clear my schedule. You should let me treat you, though, as a thank you for helping me on the case. How about you meet me here after my shift, and we'll figure it out from there. I'll have to think about it. Maybe I'll make some free time later. Thanks for the invite, Ethan. And for the assist on the case. I'll see you later, okay? Right now, I've got to go deliver these files to the cops. Good luck saving the world, Chelo. Thanks. You too. I still have to swing by the precinct office with these files. God, I hope I don't run into traffic. Okay. Now that we have these, I think that we should go back to the police station. So that's where we're going. You guys are so dead set on Ethan and Chelo. Too bad I'm not going to play it like that. The profiler from the FBI sticks out like a sore thumb. They set her up at a tiny patrol desk with only a phone and a small fortress of evidence boxes. Her handwritten notes have filled a whole legal pad. She's studious and diligently ignoring the chatter around her. Hello there. I'm Chelo Martinez. We have a meeting? Yes, the private investigator. You're not an ex-cop, not old or tired enough. Why'd you choose this profession? Oh, my father went missing when I was young. It's kind of a passion of mine, so it's a personal matter for you. But you choose to work independently rather than becoming a cop. I'm not very good at written exams. Very well. Oh! Ez, I think you're right. Ez, I think you might be onto something. Is that a problem? Detective Harris suggested I check in with you. I don't mean to step on any toes. Quite the contrary, Ms. Martinez. It's been a long 2 days, and I'm anxious to return to my desk at Quantico. Hopefully this trip has not given my boys enough time to destroy my brand new carpet. My mother-in-law has undoubtedly returned them into feral wolves, surviving solely on candy and cartoons. Every cop in the precinct is under the impression that I'm here to bust everyone's balls. That's what I'm thinking. I think it might be the photographer. So I'm relieved that you are not a cop, ex or otherwise. I'm Special Agent Amrita Singh. The cops around here can be a little territorial. I'm glad you're handling them. Ms. Martinez, my flight home leaves Fort Lauderdale in 3 hours. I will answer any questions you have so long as you ask them directly. No small talk, please. Oh, sure. So I think Detective Harris said there were some out-of-state victims? That's why you're here, right? That is correct. The South Carolina victim was wearing a taffeta dress. We believe it was hand-tailored. Since then, his stitch work has improved and his methods have become more brutal. Melanie Schrader's body brought our attention to South Florida. The cluster of victims here suggests that our serial killer uses Dade County as his hunting ground. The data backs up our theory. One of the out-of-state victims has been identified as a resident of Coconut Grove. mutilated? Tell me more about the victims. Or a local killer? What else do you know about him? Guys, what are we thinking? Yeah, I first off, I think you guys are right about the prom thing. Kyle, same. Yeah, I think I'm gonna ask about the victims rather than the killer himself. I've seen the medical examiner's photographs. The victims sustain deep cuts both before and after their deaths. He hunts white women of a particular age and build. That's why I think that Tala is safe. Tala is not white. Young and taller than 5'8" and typically brunette. His victims include prostitutes, students, and tourists. In other words, women who walk alone at odd hours. Before he dumps their bodies, their faces are made up, hair expertly done, nails painted. This is how he earned the moniker, the doll collector. Disgusting, isn't it? As if they were toys and not young women. I only heard the nickname this morning. It makes him seem so harmless. These murders are anything but. His particular pathology is full of contradiction. The wounds suggest uncontrolled violence, a sadist who reveals in causing doing damage without regards for the victim's pain. But the decoration of the women is deliberate. He dresses the victims to disguise the damage he does to them, and most look serene, even happy when they're found. We have a before and after photo of a young exchange student, Marguerite Rowland, discovered 7 years ago in Seminole, Alabama. Her naturally blonde hair had been dyed brown. Her lips had been injected with something to make them fuller. At first, we thought that his victims were finished, but now that we've assembled more of a timeline, it looks as though he's been improving on his methods. She shows me the photo of Melanie from the crime scene. She looks so peaceful floating in the water, I can barely stand to look at it. I don't know if Shayla's in danger or not, because she reads white, but I don't know if that is intentional or not. Melanie Schrader, most recent victim. Her skin had been bleached, her teeth whitened. He gave her hair extensions. Sorry if this is a novice question, but why would he do these things? We believe the doll collector treats each victim like a canvas for his violent desires and his attempts at hair and makeup design. I can't tell you if Melanie Schrader and the others set him off in a particular way. Perhaps he just wanted to hurt someone beautiful. Yeah, Shayla is short. She's like 5'4", I think. An early theory was that the killer would beautify the victims to apologize after the violence, but the lab technicians have not determined positively which he does first, style them or hurt them. If he thinks of himself as a designer or artist, maybe he doesn't see a distinction between the two. That's an interesting theory, and one that I think is worth investigating. The killer, Mel's killer, thinks of himself as an artist. Was he designing my friend and these other women? Yeah, I mean, well, I think you're right, Ryan. Matt. Both of you are here. It's confusing. You may have some aptitude for this line of work after all, Miss Martinez. The doll collector certainly has roots here, but he may have been more careful when he first started killing. I'm within the height range! 5'8". In the South Carolina case, forensic evidence suggested a crime of opportunity, leading us to believe that the killer traveled often, possibly for this job. More victims in Georgia, however, muddied the waters. The victims' bodies were mutilated, but also staged more elaborately. The timeline is strange until you account for the South Florida murders. We suspect he's crossing state lines to dump the bodies with his trademark styling. Dress, hair, and makeup. But here, we had Melanie Schrader. Suddenly, 2 known victims had lived in Dade County. I traveled here because the police have identified some potential survivors. Perhaps the killer was practicing his violence on local women. Sierra! Shouldn't someone like this have a police record? And why did he stop dumping bodies out of state? He's been very careful about his identity to date, and we hadn't connected all these victims until now. But his callous disregard for the feelings of others suggests a history of violence. Most killers like this have troubled childhoods, torturing animals, or even other children. The FBI profiler thinks doll collector may have had a troubled past, but I don't know how that will help me. How does a person get like that? And how does it escalate to killing women? Is your question hypothetical? Oh, no? Very well. Imagine the world without having an ounce of empathy. How do you navigate conversation? What relationships seem strange or broken? We smile and understand its meaning, insincere or loving or uncomfortable. But a person without emotional context must guess based on others' reactions. Are you able to distinguish between a homeless man, an abandoned dog, or a discarded newspaper? Or do they all just appear to be street refuse? If we, the emotionally able, shudder and treat the man as an obstacle, how should someone emotionless perceive him? You disagree? No, but, I mean, I see your point. What about self-recognition, though? Wouldn't the killer know that he's not like other people? I'm having a hard time putting myself in his head, I guess. It's not an easy exercise to empathize with the murderer, Miss Martinez, nor should it be, even if I am speculating. We cannot see inside his head, but we can see where he expends effort. He is transfixed by beautiful women and spends hours designing an outfit for them, making them up. In his head, is he making improvements? Does the doll collector also want to be improved? A chill goes up my spine. Do you have anything else? Unfortunately, that's all we've got. We've searched for estheticians with records of violence, fashion models, and designers, what have you. We thought it must be fruitful to investigate photographers, but so many of them work freelance. This man has eluded police departments across 6 separate counties, and as much as I hate to admit it, mystified even me. Why do you think he's acting closer to home now all of a sudden? There's a tendency to think of serial killers as sinister, calculating, intelligent, men who understand and manipulate the clockwork of others. Do not buy into the stereotype. Killers are all still men, and men are given to obsession and impulse. South Carolina police discovered the first victim in 1977, but he didn't kill again until 1981. Even those could have been isolated incidents. The data from Florida shows a different story. Multiple victims, including some survivors. He's more eager, less careful. If he already has another victim in his sights, then perhaps he couldn't drive across state lines, or didn't want to waste the time. Or he was injured in an attack and can no longer make the drive. Maybe he was just lazy and figured, hey, Miami's Central Morgue sees 600 murder victims a year. What's one more? I'm gonna go with, hey, one of those victims was my friend. Do you not feel there's a conflict of interest investigating the murder of your own friend? I guess this is why I wouldn't make a good cop. There's no such thing as a cold case when your friend's involved. I'm ready to clasp my shoulder in a firm hand and look straight into my eyes. Ms. Martinez, if no one has told you already that your efforts are appreciated, rest assured they are. It's a difficult line to walk, but you were correct. These young women deserve to be thought of as more than victims. But if you're going to be becoming emotionally invested, just use your energy wisely, Chelo. This case may be worth your heart and soul, but not every case will be. Trust me. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks for your time, Special Agent Singh. Okay. That was intense. That lady was helpful, but very intense. Did I just get a "you'll understand when you're older" speech? Maybe it's the grim mood at the police station. Time to move on before it gets to me. I can't believe how long it took to give a witness statement this morning. I'll have to wake up earlier to make up the time. Okay. Woof! I race a storm back to Little Havana. The humidity makes my hair thick and heavy, but at least I beat the rain to the door. Once I'm inside, the storm really gets started. Thunder shakes the windows, and between raindrops I see my reflection in the glass. I look the same as I did yesterday, a week ago, a year ago. I think. But I'm tired, bone tired. I'm feeling around the edges of this case, this murderer, the doll collector. I still can't see the shape of it. Maybe I never will. Part of me wants to call Lucy, get some drinks in a loud place, and forget that I'm chasing a serial killer. But I can't. Am I mad at Lucy for giving Melanie the coke or for lying about it for all these years? I could go around in circles all night. At least I have someone to talk to. This is Georgie Cooper. Gee, I'm so glad I caught you. Is now a good time? It's always a good time for you, Chelo, though I do have to make curtain call in a couple hours. Oh, a show? So cool. That's how I bill myself, the amazing Georgia, Taylor Martinez's coolest friend. So what kind of trouble are you in? Why would you say that? I'm not in trouble. No one's in trouble. Chelo, I know you. You only ever call when you're in trouble. I hadn't thought about it until just now, but you might be right. Georgia, did I fail Melanie? Oh, no, sweetheart. By the time you started, that killer already had her. There was nothing you could have done. No, I don't mean these last few days. Back then, did I fail her by not saying anything to her or to Lucy when something was obviously wrong? I should have said something, right? I remember back then, it was like the whole world was against Lucy, as Miami had no crime at all until the Escobars were there, and everyone felt entitled to take it out on her. In middle school, at least. In high school, she was untouchable. By then, everyone was afraid of her, and I think that was even harder. I never said it out loud, but I've always thought that we'd hurt Lucy's feelings if we ever talked about it. I felt the same way. Talking to you and Lucy the other day, I guess I still do. Lucy only ever let us in because we treated her like a normal person. Now she's more powerful than ever, and more detached from how her actions affect people like Melanie. And as kids, we were a part of it. There's no denying that. And now that we're all grown up, what do I tell her, Georgia? You talk to her like an adult. You don't go into it like a villain or a victim, but like a friend who spent her whole life learning Luciana Escobar's trust. You gotta come visit me in California sometimes, Chelo. It doesn't get as hot out here. I'll save up some money. Thanks for the moral support, G. Even when I'm thousands of miles away, you'll know you'll always have it. Oh my god, I am so shitty. I didn't even ask. How have you been feeling with all this going on? It's weird to see the manhunt on the news. I've been having nightmares about Melanie. I keep thinking about how scared she must have been. Whoa, bonus inch. That'd be kind of cool. Nightmares? I'm so sorry. Don't be sad, Shayla. You know my mood's in Cancer. So sensitive. It's been great talking to you again, or even under the awful circumstances. Will you call me sometime when you're not in trouble? No promises. No, wait, that joke was bad. I'll definitely call. I don't know if I can stay out of trouble, but I'll call either way. Damn straight. And hey, when you find the guy who killed Melanie, kick him in the face for me. For the tank tops. You really think I can find a killer? I believe in you, Chayla Martinez. You will find this guy, kick him in the face, and then call me and tell me all about it. Thanks. It was so good to hear your voice, Georgia. I'm sleepy, but I miss you. Go to bed, sweetheart. I'll be here tomorrow, and you can call again. Bye! Talking to Georgia makes me feel warm and happy. My stomach unclenches for the first time in days. For a few sweet minutes before I fall asleep, I manage to stop thinking about the doll collector. I'm usually a heavy sleeper, but there's something strange about the air this morning. The wind is blowing trouble in. Nothing for it, I guess. At least I'm up early enough to make a pot of coffee. Maybe if I'm awake for it, the bad news won't catch me by surprise. My shoulders tense when the phone rings. Consuelo. It's funny, I'm usually so happy to hear from you. How's the case going from your end, Sheriff? I have to phrase this very carefully, Chaylo. I pray your father will forgive me for what I'm doing. That's, dramatic. It's been a long day. Just tell me what's going on. This is what we call privileged information. The chief is tired of the bad press. He wants to increase the patrols in Coral Gables. He thinks a dozen patrol cars crawling a 10-block radius will make the suburbanites feel safe in their beds. They might forget there's a killer in their neighborhood, kidnapping disadvantaged girls because he's sure no one will miss them. You can't do that! If he sees patrol cars and feels cornered, he might panic and kill Janet. Besides, he's not hunting, he's already got his next victim. Doesn't the chief know that? You have to stop it. I can't, Chaylo. I've brought you one day, but that's all I could get. The doll collector is a political nightmare. The mayor's getting hundreds of calls a day asking why we haven't made an arrest yet. I'm not even close to being done yet. What can I do in a day? There's a new kid in the crime lab, a statistical analyst from Stanford. She bet the precinct $100 that she can figure out which block this guy lives on. She cross-referenced a ton of information from the DMV, the hotline calls, and the FBI profile. If she's right, you might be able to use that information to stake this guy out. But you didn't hear it from... Okay. You have today and tonight to find your man. Tomorrow, the Dade County PD is going door-to-door through the whole neighborhood. Sorry, Chaylo. Well, at least I have a day. Are you getting stakeout snacks, or shall I? I'm afraid I can't join you for this one, Deputy. I'll be in an all-night meeting planning for the big sweep tomorrow. Do me a favor, though. Call a friend for backup. Are you worried for me, Detective? This man is a killer. You don't need to remind me of that. Apparently I do, because you're not taking me seriously. Consuelo, you need to take a friend. If you find anything at all, you get to a payphone and you call me. Please don't do anything dramatic. When I see your father in heaven, I don't want to tell him that I put his little girl in harm's way. There's no proof Papa is in heaven, Detective Harris. Fine, but when Vicente comes back and hears that I let you search for the doll collector on your own, he'll send me there. Promise me you'll take a buddy to watch your back. I promise. And promise me you won't go charging into danger. I promise that too. That's my girl. Do you have any last tips? Anything I should look out for in particular? Detectives love sticks. I thought we hired you for your fresh eyes, Chelo. Hey, give me a break. It's my first stakeout. Coral Gables is a nice middle-class community. If the doll collector lives there, he's been blending in for years. But he'd still need privacy. He'd have the kind of house that neighbors won't complain about, but they also won't drop in for a chat. I'll be at Central all night. Call the switchboard if you find anything or if you need any more tips from a veteran cop. Ooh, veteran cop. Do you know any? Smart ass. Be safe tonight, Chelo. Good hunting, detective. Adrenaline pumps through me and my skin tingles all the way to my fingertips. I can feel the thumb of my pulse. For a moment, I lose focus on Melanie and Janet, and all I can think of is confronting the man who took them. I have one chance tonight to find Janet Lessig before the cops descend on the doll collector. I need to be ready. Evidence, backup. Oh, and I better ask Mickey if I can borrow his car, too. It's a little early to call, but I can leave a message on someone's machine. Who should I bring on the stakeout? Well, you guys said... It looks like my choices are Ethan and Tala. You guys want Ethan? I'm bringing Ethan. Hola, it's Chelo. You're probably not awake yet, but could you meet me in Coral Gables tonight? I need a partner for a stakeout, and... That's a really bad explanation. Do you want to hang out for a few hours in my brother's car while eating snacks? And maybe help me find the doll collector? Wait, that's not really a good... 30 seconds is not enough time to invite someone on a stakeout to catch a serial killer. Ethan will show up, I'm sure of it. In the meantime, I've got a little more time to get the evidence that I need. I need to find Janet before a police raid spooks her kidnapper. I can see the sun peeking through the blinds of my office. Daytime. Make it count, Chelo. Guys, do you want to go to the Cannery, or do you want to go to Liberty City right now? Cannery first? Okay. That's several for Cannery, so we're going to the Cannery. The Cannery looks strangely normal during the day. Big Vanessa said they'd be closed to inform Melanie and organize a vigil for Janet. When I walk in, a few of the regular employees are milling about, doing their prep tasks, filling salt shakers, folding napkins, normal stuff. They exchange wary glances as I walk past them towards Big Vanessa's office. The hush is oppressive and hard to ignore. I'm relieved when the boss lady herself comes out to meet me. Hello, Big Vanessa. It's good to see you again. You talk to me like I'm such a classy lady, Chelo. I love it. Makes me feel good, especially with all these nervous hens pecking around me. You feel it, right? The electric sadness in here? It's hard for them losing one of their own. But Big Vanessa's used to losing friends. My heart is the knotty hard pit at the center of this peach. I'm sorry, Vanessa, but I'm glad the rest of you is still so sweet. Did you hear that? Gloria Chelo says I'm sweet! I scan the club. A few employees crack a smile. Some of them look relieved. That's how I feel, too. You said you were Melanie's friend? The girl set up a little shrine by a mirror over there. Someone left flowers by Janet's dressing area last night, too. I don't have the heart to tell him Prince Charming isn't here to receive them. Please say you have a lead. Police are working on it, and I am too. I promise. But I'm not going to lie about the situation. According to cops, the killer is, accelerating his schedule. Are you saying that you need to stop flirting with an old bag and get to work finding our handsome prince? I don't see any old bags here, ma'am. But otherwise, you're right. After I find Prince Charming, we'll have all the time in the world to socialize. I wish my kids were as polite as you, Chelo. We're having a private wake for Melly tonight. I'd love to invite you, but some of the girls don't feel safe around strangers. I hope you can understand. But you have free reign of the club until around 6. I know they're eager to help, but please try not to bother the performers. One of them will start crying, then I'll start crying, then we'll flood all Miami in gay tears. I'll try to be considerate, Big V. Thanks so much for giving me access to Janet's things. She presses a warm, soft kiss against my cheek, then wipes away the lipstick residue with her thumb. Imagine that, thanking me for finding one of my girls. Go on. And don't leave without saying goodbye, here? I won't. According to Big Vanessa's witness report, Janet left the club while everyone else was doing what evening wipe-downs and prep tasks. That would have been around 3 or 4 in the morning. She remembers seeing Janet during last call. It's a small window of time, but with all the hustle and bustle, no one noticed when Janet left or had any idea why. I take a breath. Janet's room is nestled at the back of the drag club. It's so small and intimate. I can't help but feel like I'm invading a space where I don't belong. But if I'm going to discover where she went, I need to learn what she's like. Where should I look first? Bedroom or the makeup stations? I think you guys are right on bedroom. This little closet is definitely just Janet's space. There's nothing too flashy about it. I guess she leaves the Prince Charming persona on stage. I looked through I looked through what the cops would call her personal effects. She has so few. There's some photos taped to the wall. Here's one where she's holding up a fish nearly as big as she is. But most of her things are stashed neatly under a single costume rack. Oh, hey, Nikki! Ez, I'm gonna export this to YouTube, so if you want to catch up later, it'll definitely be there to do so. I imagine Janet sitting here like so, worn out after a busy night at the club, gazing at her family photos before she gets ready for bed. Oh, what's this? The mattress is thin enough that I can feel something lumpy underneath. Huh? A wallet? Weird. All of her stuff is here. ID, bus tickets, even some cash. There's something here. A picture of a young Janet with an older man. Maybe her dad? It seems like the kind of thing someone would take everywhere. Why would Janet leave her wallet on purpose when she went out? Hun, can I offer you a Coke or a coffee or something? How's it going in here? No, but thanks. I'm looking through Janet's things, and it looks like she left without her wallet. You better not be snooping on her dirty little secrets. No, just regular boring wallet stuff. Why would Janet go out without taking her ID? You know, I couldn't say. Janet never carried a wallet costume, but she left long after her last stage appearance. Cat ears? Fancy. Is her pendant there? What pendant? A little gold sword, an heirloom from her grandmother. She wore it all the time when she wasn't performing. She said it was the only thing she wore that truly suited her, the person she really is. Hey, Ted. Ah, here it is. Hidden in the cash pocket of the wallet. So, whatever she was doing, she wanted to do it without anything that could possibly identify her as Janet Lessig. Nor Prince Charming. I had the stage manager check our inventory, and all of his costumes are still on the racks. Oh. Janet left the cannery without her ID or her heirloom necklace. Maybe she didn't want to be recognized. Huh. There's a lot of kids in these photos. Do you know who they are? Her relatives. Janet's the big black sheep of a big family. She was always on the phone with one cousin or another. They come to the show sometimes, all in jeans and t-shirts that just scream Midwest. Funny thing is, they always cheer the loudest. I think you might be right, Karen. Ted, 26 isn't a bad year. Trust me, it's a good look. You should see it when they all come to visit. It's like a giant frat party. Even your girl Vanessa gets rowdy with those Tennessee rednecks. So she has this big supportive family, but she still sleeps on the floor in a broom closet? Acceptance and loneliness aren't mutually exclusive, dear. It was strangest with her father, you know. She always said he wanted a boy. Part of me thinks he only visits to see his son on stage. That sounds complicated. I'm gonna take a look at Melanie's station. It's strange looking at powder-dusted mirrors in the backstage area. I imagine Melanie is running a tray full of drinks back here, checking her own reflection as she goes by. Well, we're solving a murder right now. Serial killer. Melanie designed the tank top's outfits. She had an eye for drama and coolness, but on stage, the pressure to perform could get to her. In a way, stage fright brought us together. Did our little bit of fame make you happy? Or did you look at yourself in the mirror back here and long to be in front of an audience again? Aw, Taylor, you were afraid of messing up in front of the crowds. I was afraid of the crowds themselves. That's why I spent all of my time in mirrors, touching up my mascara or trying new glosses. I needed some quiet in between all the noise. But I still loved show business and wanted to be near it, even when I was terrified. So you ended up here, too anxious to waitress, but you need any money you can get. So you run drinks to the performers and you love being near the action. As I'm pretty sure that Janet is actually non-binary. So that is, I don't know her. I believe she uses she pronouns, but I have been told that she is the non-binary. She is a non-binary character. I never got my own space here, but at least I could touch up and sometimes work with sometimes one of the nicer queens would do my hair. Did you look in the mirror the night before you went out? Is this the last thing you saw before that man grabbed you? What did Janet think about when she went looking for you? I can't tell you that, sweetie. What do you see? According to Vanessa, the cannery has been shut down for the last 2 days as police investigate Melanie's murder. That means fewer people in the back areas. Big Vanessa, can you help me out real quick? What do you need? You've been keeping track of what's missing, right? Have you lost any inventory, like costumes or accessories? This is a drag club. It's hard to keep track of clothes and costumes, actually. There's a washing machine and dryer in the back that I let the girls use, so we usually end up with more padding and tights than we started with. But come to think of it, where's the Audrey wig? Audrey wig? You know, Audrey Hepburn, a straight brunette wig done in an updo, cute feather bangs, acts based on Breakfast at Tiffany's are timeless. That wig was definitely accounted for the last night we had a show. Janet might have taken it, but I don't know why he would. Even during the double acts, Prince Charming always presented as a man. Brunette wig to cover her blonde hair so that she'd get picked up. She went after the killer herself. A wig that looks like Melanie's hair is missing, but the cannery has been on lockdown since Janet disappeared. Sounds like Prince is very proactive and very protective. Would he have gone out to look for Melanie on his own? Melanie's disappearance wasn't out of the ordinary, but we usually knew where to look for her. Rehab, or jail, or at home, afraid to face the world. Prince was fired up, though. He was so sure Millie's disappearance was out of the ordinary. He wanted to organize a search party for her. When Auntie told us about her other missing girls, that made Prince more determined. I think he wanted to protect them. Did you tell the cops all this? Yeah, the pigs expanded their search radius. I told them all the action was up in Liberty City, but they said Miss Lessig would stick out like a sore thumb there, and no one in the neighborhood had seen her. What if he wasn't looking for Melanie? What if he was chasing her abductor? And he took a brunette wig, too. To fit the victim profile! What if nobody saw him in Liberty City because he was disguised? I'll make some calls, ask around, and see if anything else is missing. Holler up to the front if you need me. I search around a little more, looking for evidence of Janet or Melanie that the cops might have missed. Nothing else is jumping out at me. Thank you for your help, Big Vanessa. I hope I can come back to you with good news. I'm sorry this is such a stressful time for you. Look at me, baby. There's no such thing as a non-stressful time. I'll say goodbye to you today and add you ought to show up under less shitty circumstances. But in my experience, circumstances only ever get more shitty, not less. The cannery has seen enough tragedy for 1 year, and I'm not sure if... Shush, Chalo. I'm an old lady. That means you have to indulge my sadness, and I'm entitled to scold you for yours. Chin up, miss. The world needs a constant supply of joy to keep spinning, and the most potent source is doe-eyed optimists like you. Now go on. I hear we're on a deadline, and you promised to kneecap a bad guy for me. Over my protests and awkward apologies, Big Vanessa shoos me out of the cannery. Oh. Time to go, I guess. Oh! You guys are gonna want me to go on Ethan's date, aren't you? One, two, three. That's true, he is supposed to come up with 4. Okay, alright, date it is. You guys are so demanding. That's what I would assume, to go talk to, like, Auntie. Yo, hey, Matt! There, now you got it. I feel so awkward. I can't even tell if I'm holding it right. You're doing great. Now, when you're ready, just breathe. And swing! Hey, look, you're a natural! And the crowd goes wild. Woo! That was a foul ball, and you know it. And what's this? Someone in the stand caught number 15's foul ball in it. It's the president! What a hit for rookie Chelo Martinez! Stop it. That was terrible, and we both know it. You know, when I was 6, my dad signed me up for Little League, but I was too scared of the ball to even take a swing. No reason to be afraid now, just I remember. I'm gonna square my shoulders, line my hips up with the plate, and... Oh! It happened again! But I tell you, you're a natural. Thanks for taking me out, Ethan. That was way more fun than I expected. I always loved watching ball, but I was never any good at playing it, at least as a kid. Good to know I can still hit a pop fly or two. My shoulders are gonna be sore tomorrow, I can tell. Well, a little rest will be good for you then. Can I get you anything, like a milkshake or... I want exactly half of a milkshake, so... If we're gonna share one, what flavor would you get? A test? Well, let's see. Believe it or not, I like strawberry. Always have. Strawberry? That's... I mean, good for you. Admitting you have a problem is the first step to resolving it. Ah! Called the fuck out! Strawberry is gross as hell. Ugh. Okay, milkshake snob, what's the best flavor? So first, you have to start with the best ice cream, which means you need the cream cheese stirred in. Then, nice creamy flavor like dulce con leche. But don't forget the chocolate sauce swirl on the bottom. And you top it off with some homemade whipped cream and 3 cherries. You can date the sleazeball, apparently. And sprinkles. I have to give this a lot of thought, Taylor. Cream cheese stirred in, you said? Oh no, I should have been on my way to Mickey's apartment 5 minutes ago. I'm really sorry to cut this short. We should do this again sometime. Can you grab some stakeout snacks and meet me in Coral Gables? Yeah, definitely. See you then. Thanks for a really lovely date. It's time to grab Mickey's car and head to Coral Gables. Look, I want to date the sleazeball. Ah, Miami, where the people are always beautiful and the traffic is always bad. I've raced the sunset west from the beach. By the time I make it to Coral Gables, the sky is red and purple. Tonight, I find the doll collector. Ethan's sweating when I pull up to the curb like he's been waiting in the Miami heat for an hour. Quick, get in before you melt! Oh, thank God this hair has air conditioning. I think I'd die otherwise. That's cute as fuck! The good news is that, yes, Mickey did make sure the AC was working before I borrowed his car. The bad news is that this is a stakeout. I'll have to kill the engine when we think we found the collector. It's so ominous when you say it like that. Am I allowed to be worried for you? I'm with you, Ryan. I love cream cheese frosting. I've got my dad's old baseball bat, and don't worry, I'm under strict orders to observe and not engage. Still, is this a good idea? I mean... hey Bronwyn! Good to see you! We're gonna park outside a murderer's house and watch him with binoculars. What if he decides to murder us? Okay, the best way I can describe this game is like a cross between Osago Academy, Phoenix Wright, and Valhalla. Tate, you make bomb-ass cookies, okay? It's a visual novel, murder mystery, it's really great. It's really good. It got a little intense before. Yeah. Well, I've seen you swing a bat, so I'm sure we'll be fine. That's when you run to the phone booth over there and call the cops. No problem. Somehow, that doesn't make me feel better. Ethan relaxes and we talk about his day. His mom's going on a cruise, but he doesn't know if he can take time off to go with her. He talks about vacation time and retirement with a dreamy, hopeful look in his eye. Ethan says it's his only night off this week. I feel a little bad that I've conscripted him into tracking down the doll collector. Oh, I'm just glad that I caught my friend's post on Facebook about it. We talk about what our lives would be like if we each had more time for fun. Ethan wonders what a 9-to-5 workday feels like, with weekends. When I look at his face, smiling through the heat of an airless old sedan, he makes normal life seem... tempting. Hey, check out that house. What's up with it? I think a man walked out of it with a bunch of garbage and drove off in a red Chevy! I missed it! The guy, he looks so normal. This whole neighborhood is cute and suburban. Like, if I bought a house, I'd want it to look like that little single-family home over there. Do you think that's really the doll collector's house? Only one way to find out. Wait, what happened to observe, don't engage? You just said he drove off. I'm just going to take a look. That's the observing part. Here, I'll take this as extra insurance. I retrieve Papa's baseball bat and strike a heroic pose. See, if you see any trouble, just run to the phone booth and call the cops. The cavalry will be here before you know it. Believe me. I believe you, Chelo. Please. Watch your back. I'll come back safe and sound, I promise. The air that sweeps in from the bay is surprisingly cool. I feel it like fingers running through my hair. Could this be the place? Is this the house of a serial killer? Weird to think of it this way. After all, Cocaine Queen Griselda Blanco ordered hundreds of deaths before they arrested her. Lucy and I drove past Griselda's house once. They say Al Capone used to live there. A white villa with beautiful gardens. That's the kind of house a monster lives in. The doll collector is just a guy in the suburbs. I only caught sight of the Chevy when it was on the street today, but when it was on the street already, but I'm pretty sure it was one of these 3 houses. Oh. Okay, Shannon. Yeah, somebody tweet Shannon when this part's done. Which house is his? Oh shit, we get to pick? Okay, so our choices are... Oh! Thanks for the follow! We have basement windows, no lights. Chain link fence, open windows. Carport, sound of a TV. So I think I'm gonna rule out the chain link fence, open windows one, because you can hear noises through open windows. My guess is, okay, sound of a TV could drown out the talk of victims, or basement windows. Oh wait, where did the, hang on. That's a good point. Fuck. Okay, it doesn't say anything in the log. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the carport. Fuck. Those seem like risky features for a killer's house. If he was transporting victims in his trunk, he'd need privacy. The house in the middle is the most likely, but I don't like questioning my own instincts. Maybe I'll have enough time to search all 3, but for now, I'll concentrate on the one in the center. I grip the handle of my father's baseball bat and walk towards the house. Trash first. People try to hide secrets in their house, but they put real evidence right on the curb. 3 fresh bags. This one looks like food and stuff, but this one, it's knotted tightly. Let's take a look. Could something in here be the killer's? Discarded film canisters. That's interesting. What if the doll collector is a photographer? There's evidence suggesting it. I've been following the trail of someone with a sharp eye for detail. Someone who styles women to this warped idea of perfection and rejects what he thinks are flaws. I'm on the right track. I can feel it. But I'm so curious, and that impulse moves me up the driveway and toward this house. To the front door. My finger hovers over the doorbell. If he were inside, I could push one button and we'd be face to face. A bead of sweat runs down my spine and I'm filled with fear. I whirl around, certain that the red Chevy is pulling into the driveway behind me. The street is still empty. It's comforting to know that I have a friend in the car watching my back. I resist the urge to turn and look for them. Focus, Chelo. Melanie was missing for 3 days and found in a taffeta dress she didn't own. A doll collector. He needs privacy to keep them. He needs patience and a visual eye. He's redesigning women the way he wants them. His blinds are cracked and I can just barely get a peek inside this guy's living room. No couch, no TV. In fact, his entire living room is entirely empty except an arch, the trellis, the kind you'd have in a garden or a nice wedding. Why would you have something like that indoors? I feel like I've only ever seen a setup like this once in my life. The doll collector must be trying to create a perfect prom date. That's right! Fairview High's prom night! We had an arch just like that where I just spit on my... where couples could take pictures. Of course, Lucy and Georgia hogged it for 20 minutes. They must have used 3 rolls of film. Actually, I think I've seen this exact arch before. That's right, the photo of Janet and Melanie at the cannery. Prom, an unforgettable night for some. It might explain why the other girls were dressed up as well. I checked my back again. Mickey's brown sedan, still there. The red Chevy, still gone. All in all, this was a good night's work. I collected some clues and I can bring my notes to Detective Harris. Hopefully he'll be able to put the evidence together and find the doll collector. I'll stay here a little longer, but I can already hear him in my head. This was some good solid police work, Deputy. Maybe I won't get the credit for finding Janet, but I did what I could to help. I'll just have to wait and see if that's enough. Hey Elise, just remember... Shan, come back! I'm gonna wait until Shannon's back to, That's right, Karen is really good at mysteries. Dang it, Bobby. Okay. The cops clean up the mess. Detective Harris meets me with a squadron of patrol cars saying, "We got him." I asked to see Janet, but she'll be questioned for hours. Detective Harris dispatches an officer to take me home. He says he's proud of me. The big bust is on the news. Mrs. Moon happily shares the updates with me. The humble home of a homicidal maniac. I don't have the heart to watch. I barely have the energy to pick up the phone, but I accept one invitation one night later. Oh, I know where we're going! Melanie's Vigil. Shannon, we found film canisters in the trash can and a prom arch in the living room. We looked in through the window. That was the only thing in the living room. Thank you for coming, JLo. It means a lot to me, to the women who worked with Melanie and Janet. We wanted to do something beautiful for Melanie and all the other folks gone before their time. How are you feeling, honey? Tired, shaky. The adrenaline hasn't quite wore off. When I went up, I got him in cuffs and everything. I nearly passed out. We're opening the bar to friends after midnight. If you can make it, please do. I'll try my best. Thanks for believing me, Vanessa. Will Janet be here? I'm afraid not, my dear. She gave a deposition and the police would let her go home to her family as long as she returns for the trial. Imagine how Prince Charming coming back to his roots in the backwoods of Tennessee. He's earned some peace, don't you think? Oh, Allie, Big Vanessa's amazing. Janet said she'd leave you a message. Did you not get a phone call? Honestly, I haven't checked my messages since the stakeout. I think I'd like to stay with people for tonight, though, if that's alright with you. Sure, honey, you're welcome here, and you can come by the cannery if you ever want to talk. They did find Janet, yes, alive. We walk along the beach for hours, lighting candles and sending them out to sea. Behind us, a South Beach weekend is getting started. Crowds are migrating from restaurants to clubs, some of them drunk and already rowdy, ready to party. Our group is hushed for now. Someone has passed around a bottle of vodka, and small sips have turned into tearful gulps. A girl in a long pink wig leans into me and whispers, "Put on a ton of bad mascara just so I wouldn't cry." But I'm crying anyways. We hold on to strangers, we embrace each other, we remember our friends, and tomorrow, we'll wake up and do it again. We found her, you guys. We found her. Wow. That was a really... I'm full screening. That one... We didn't screw it up. That one was really intense. Damn, this game is good. I still didn't see my boyfriend today, though. He's gone. My real boyfriend is gone, so I can talk about my husband in peace. I really like this game, you guys. Really like this game. Ethan's not my boyfriend. You guys think Ethan's my boyfriend, but Ethan's not my boyfriend. It is Richard. Love of my life. Slimeball extraordinaire. You guys can want Ethan all you want, but I want me a... I'm gonna romance both of them if I can. Yeah, Ethan is Chat's boyfriend, not mine. Oh, dang, guys. Tala is great, don't worry. Like, the thing is, I like everybody. I don't know if the... Like, Shannon, this game came out 3 days ago. The game is called Ghosts of Miami. Yeah, the first day I streamed it is the day it came out. Like, Conrad is my friend Conrad is the head developer, or the what do they even call him? I'm gonna go back to game credits. Oh my god, look at my chibi friends. I love them. I'm going just to see his oh wait, you guys can't see it. Oh shit! You guys couldn't see that! Shit! You guys couldn't see the cuteness. Yeah, okay, so that's Conrad is the technical lead. Okay, I'm gonna... Here, I'll go back so that you guys can see the cuteness. There! Now you guys can see the cuteness and how much I love them. Also, Karen, why are you screaming at me? I forgot I was full screen for a while. Also, I really like this song here. Oh. Blondie is Janet. That's Janet. We've met her already. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So now that that's taken care of, I'm gonna go full screen again. So, like I said earlier this week, I am not going to be able to go live on Saturday, because I am not... Okay, Janet, Ethan, Lucy, Rich... Yes! I can date my slimeball husband! Thank God! Dating the slimeball husband! Gonna do it! Janet, Ethan, Lucy, Richard, and Tala. Okay. Gonna date the slimeball, so excited. Look, I'll date Ethan too. If you guys want to date Ethan so much, buy the damn game yourself. It's like $13. I'm not doing a straw poll. This is my game. TLC for Big Vanessa. Yeah, Allie, you got it? That's awesome. You will not make a straw poll. I am the straw poll. The game is... It's like $13 right now. Thought you could make it, but I can disregard it just as easily. This is romance. What? Okay, what if I romance both of them? Because when the devs were in here the other night, they said that there were multiple options. Like, you could romance multiple people. And I'm that kind of a person. Oh, come on, Karen! I know, you're my sister. Thank you, Kyle. Sometimes I just want dick. That's gonna get me banned on Twitch. His name is Richard! Dick is short for Richard! Thank you! Matt! I guess the stream caught up. Say thank you. Brittle curly barely. Mike's not here right now. Okay, fine. I'm going to vote in my own goddamn straw poll. As for Slime Man, vote. See, 2 vote. Thank you. Hey. Asmer Slime Man. Is anybody else streaming? Let me check. No, it doesn't look like anybody else is streaming right now. Oh, goodness. Oh, Christ. Is Taylor? I don't think Taylor's live right now. Because I follow Taylor. And she's not showing up on my online streams. But if she is... Well, did she say she was going to be going live soon? Because if she does, then... You know what? She's going to be going up soon. So let's hang on until Taylor goes live and we'll raid her. She's probably gonna be going live at like 10:30. See, thank you, Sierra. Sierra's on my side. I'm gonna follow my slime ball dreams. Straw poll meme time. Oh God. That's 4. I'm gonna turn my air conditioner because it's getting hot in here. I don't think we should use slime dick. I don't think Taylor would appreciate that. I heard 4. Allie, you can post your poll again. Not eat, but eat. Thank you. See, Ryan gets it. Asmer Slime Man. Yeah, okay, we're gonna use the phrase Asmer Slime Man to raid Taylor with. Whenever she happens to go live. Sierra, little too much. Guys, we're getting a little too much right now. Gonna reel y'all in. Reel y'all in. Like we're fishing. Woo! Okay. Whoa! Okay. You're reeled in. Yeah, bring it back down to 4. That's fine. At least we know that's a joke. Alu. Alu, Alu. Alu, how are you? Alu. Hola, Alu. I will call you Alu, don't tempt me. I don't know, dude. You did it, though. I'm proud of you. Bear Alu. Shit, this is getting funny. Ugh. on, Taylor. You go live already? Oh god, Karen, what did you share? Karen, what the fuck is that? How did you do that? Why did you do that? Oh, thank you for the follow. Maybe if I keep it... It's not real! What is wrong with me? See, oh, there's a generator? Oh my god. Jeez. I didn't know there was a generator. Oh god. Maybe I'll go back to this so we can, like, actually look like I'm playing the game. Or I'm still using the game. Alright. Guys, I hate to call it a night without going to raid Taylor. But if you guys want to go hide out in Taylor's chat waiting for her to go live, because I know she's going to be doing it soon. Hang on. Go hang out in Taylor's chat. Whenever she goes live, tell her, not time for Vor, Ryan. But tell her, Asthma Slime Asthma Man, or whatever it was. Much love, guys. I will see you on Tuesday. Much love. Peace.